in the Constitution conflict, but really, that's what this is, and this is squarely under the commander-in-chief's authority to keep Americans safe. And I'm telling you, that's how most Americans see it.
So that's obviously the national security director. There's a messaging effort here. I mean, it included right when they got all of the Venezuelan deportees. They put out all that video. They showed them getting their heads shaved. They showed them bent over, handcuffed. They were restrained at the ankles.
I was waiting to see what she was going to say.
No. Before she does, anybody got any pushback on that?
Yeah, well, I just have some historical context with Andrew Jackson and my native tribe, Cherokee here. Well, Andrew Jackson, first Democrat president, didn't care about the Supreme Court. He went ahead and had them force the Cherokee off their land.
Yeah, salute, shorty, salute. Bunkin, you got your head down, brother. So,
nah. Go ahead.
5/5.
I'll go after you, bro.
No, I want you to go first. I want to be last.
I'm still trying to find the better picture for the thumbnail, bro.
Okay. Says you want to find a better picture. Nobody voted for these judges. For none of these judges. Nobody voted for them. So they have no authority over the executive. Once somebody got that T-tag labeled on them, by law, you can be removed. It is what it is. When the other person was doing stuff, nobody was taking him to court or nothing like that, and now all of a sudden, when you look at what's going on, this hurts you more than it helps you. I don't care what race you are. I don't care what religion you are. This will hurt you more than it will benefit you. So you have to question why these judges are doing what they're doing. Anybody want to?
I think their argument is that there are people with a green card or something mixed in this or something. I heard something about that. With like there's some kind of legal immigrants in there involved or something mixed in.
Well, the green card, I could break that down to you. You want to break it down to you?
Yeah, go ahead.
The green card thing is for people that have gotten a green card and have committed heinous crimes. So legally, they can deport you by law. Whether we agree with it or not, that just is the law.
Well, there's one gentleman who was like a professor or something who had his green card, and because he was on the Hamas side, he was being deported. There's something like that.
Well, Hamas is considered what?
I know. I'm just pointing out their argument.
Either we for the Constitution or we not. That's the argument we have to have on this, right? I'm for the Constitution, 110%. The issue that when you show support for a group that already have been T-tagged, that makes you a part of that group, does it not? You're on mute, Mark.
Well, depends on the sentiment. I mean, if he really is like supportive of that group being the way the terrorist behavior, then yeah, I would agree with you. But if he's just misled or doesn't understand, who knows? I don't know.
Yeah, but when you come in here, they won't let you in here if you was even associated with them groups of people. So once you even put yourself in them shoes to even protest on their behalf, now you're running yourself into a problem because now you're supporting the people that's against this country. So automatically they can sit there and say, well, you support that group of people, whether we agree with it or not. I do believe people have the right to protest, but sometimes you got to pick your battles also.
I think genuinely, sure. We found a point of contention. Let's go. One man's terrorist, another man's freedom fighter, right? The IRA to England or to the UK were terrorists, right? But the majority of the American, idea would label them as freedom fighters, right? It's the same thing with Hamas. The only difference is, right, is we support the state of Israel. Just like back then, if we supported the UK, right, we would call them terrorists.
Yeah, well, we support conflicting nations here, though, too.
Oh, well, I don't support that nation.
No, but like we support like nations that oppose Israel as well as
Yeah.
we support two sides of that argument. The nation does, like our allies or whatever. That's why I feel like we need to get out of NATO and separate from all that
Yeah.
being allies with people.
Sure.
Bucket, I only support what you call the United States of America. No allies. I don't believe in allies and none of that stuff. I only support the people here.
Yeah, that's what it should be. It shouldn't be allies. It should be whatever's the best for America. That's our point of view, and that's how our government should be run.
I don't support left. I don't support right. I only support the people.
Right.
So, for some people, they pick a side. I don't pick either.
Yeah, I think it's ridiculous how we want to be allies with all the nations. It's like, dude, all the nations can never get along. What are you talking about? It's ridiculous.
Well, a lot of these organizations wouldn't exist without the United States. What is NATO without the United States? Nothing. What is the UN without the United States? Nothing.
Nothing.
They wouldn't have even existed without the United States.
Let me cab up on this. Because 5/5 over there playing with his phone trying to get the thumbnail right. Let me cab up on this. This is my view, my personal view only. Nobody else on this panel may not have this view, but this is my view. To me, if Canada is such an ally, why do they have 200%, 250% tariffs on some of our goods? If they're an ally.
In Canada?
Yeah.
It must be very few.
If the European Union is an ally, why do they got our stuff so high that people can't even purchase it over there?
This is true.
If a small country in the Middle East is an ally to us, why they always putting us in predicaments and wars?
Yeah, or try to get us to fight their wars for them.
Fight their battles.
Yeah. I'm full like Pax Americana, buddy. That's my channel name is Pax Americana. Like I don't care about any of these countries. I don't care about allyship. I do not.
Yeah, I don't care about none of that stuff. I only care about the people here. Yeah. No matter what race, no matter what religion, here, and that's it. That's all I care about. People prospering here. Nobody living under the poverty line. Nobody living well above the poverty line, where it should be an even playing field for everybody here to benefit.
Excuse me one moment, please. I'm sorry, but I have to do this. My bad. Just hold up 1 second, please. Please, one moment. Yo, Scotty Waddles, as you can tell, you are a member now. You got gifted that membership yesterday, and this is your first time in the chat. That's why your name is green, and you have a different emblem up there. You are definitely a member to the channel now. So every video that you see on the channel thread that says members only is for people like you, only members. It's a whole fact, Scotty Waddle. So anytime you see a video that says members only, that is for you as well. So what it is that a few days ago, people been gifted memberships, and the people that have been receiving them, they haven't been pulling up. So as they pull up, I've been hitting them down. Look, Big E, like, drop the link, Brody. Big E about to take care of this whole conversation in like 5 seconds, yo.
Hey, I gotta go to the board meeting. If you're still live in about 2 hours, I'll be back.
All right,
peace and love, Mark.
See you guys.
No way.
Peace.
So my bad. Go ahead. Sorry about that. Go on.
Yes, yes. The U.S. is. You see, here's the funny thing about the U.S. with the courts, right? When it was against Putin, it was okay for the courts to find him guilty. But when it came to somebody else, the U.S. was like, nah, that court is not that court. You know what I mean? It wasn't respected then. So, you know, it's one of them things where you have to. The judges is overplaying their hands. Everybody know what the 85% of the country supports of what this guy is doing, whether you agree with him or not. There's nothing you can do about it. It is what it is.
There we go. So now
keep flipping. You confusing me and Bumpkins.
Yeah, because I'm used to being up here by myself. So everything is set up for me to be by myself. The angles, how everything look, everything. So my bad, man. My bad.
Hey, we've been at it, what, hour 18 minutes? You want to drop the link in the chat, man? Let people pull up and see what's what, or no?
It's up to y'all. I don't care.
I think we should get different opinions on this and all that.
All it is, Bumpkin, is that my bad, G? Is that we used to do a lot of open panels, a lot over here, a lot, different types of topics, all kinds of shit, right? But once we got real close to the monetization, G was like, nah, you got to be up here by yourself a little bit. So now that I am monetized, it's only been monetized, what, G, like 15 days?
Yeah, 15 days.
Not even in 30 days yet. So I'm real leery of who I want to let up here because I'm not trying to let nobody crash out something that I've been trying to get this whole time.
So you just have to really, really moderate it. You have to set the guidelines of what people can talk about and what they can't talk about. And if they do decide to talk about that anyways, drop them out.
Yeah, that's it.
Take no prisoners.
Oh, salute the Powder Dusty. He's in the building.
What's up, Flow State?
Flow State. These are people that I've met through the other.
I call you Dusty. The powder thing kind of sound, but I call you Dusty though. Salute to you. Yeah, I don't like saying Caucasian Sasquatch. I like calling them Sasquatch. I don't like certain things.
You know what I mean?
But listen, when y'all come up here, please watch the way you talk. Please be respectful.
Look at the Brody. The Brody pulled up immediately. What's up, my guy?
What up, man?
What it
do, y'all?
Yeah, you see how we did, right? He gave us the mean face, but right now he's smiling with his camera off.
Hey, look. Let me weigh in on what. Okay, this is my personal opinion. So we don't have no allies. What we have are a bunch of countries that use us for our money.
That's a fact.
We are the only country on the face of this earth that taxes its citizens to help other countries that have nothing to do with us.
That's a fact.
That Ukrainian war has nothing to do with us.
That's a fact.
The small hats have nothing to do with us.
That's a fact.
Afghanistan had nothing to do with us.
That's a fact.
Okay, this is the only country where the leaders literally taxes its citizens to help out all these countries that put more tax on us. And the reason that is like that, if you ask me, look at Congress. You got a bunch of people like Ilhan Omar, right? The $5 Indian Pocahontas. Kamala Harris herself is a Hindu. Barry Soetoro, Barack Obama. You get what I'm saying? All of these are people that's not from the soil.
Yeah.
So when they get in office, they enact policies and help everybody except Americans.
Yeah.
Case in point. The hurricane victims in Florida and the flooding victims in North Carolina got $750, but Ukraine is getting hundreds of billions of dollars.
That's a fact.
Afghanistan got millions of dollars. So as long as all these countries could use us, we're allies. Now that 47 say, nah, you know what? Enough of that. We tired of paying the lion's share of everything to everybody all the time.
Hold up, bro. Hold up. So we actually.
Hey,
so
Brett,
remember,
the link is in the chat,
you
Brett.
let E go for like an hour straight. I'm gonna tell you that. So hold on. So Brett is in the building. Brett, we keep dropping the link. So Brett he's a Canadian, right? He done been on panels with us. He does not agree. Like look at the chat. His chat goes, without Canada resources, the U.S. can't build fighter jets. Would have to take those resources elsewhere. Canada has been the best friend and ally, and Zion Dan decided to conduct acts of war upon us. But some of us feel like the tariff that you guys are putting on our products is a hindrance, but they don't see it that way.
Also, but everywhere does that to us. Yeah. Everywhere.
Also, we can totally build those fighter jets. You're talking about rare earth minerals. And in Missouri, we just found, I think last year, about, 23 trillion pounds of rare earth minerals. So and guess what, buddy?
And
so guess
what? Carolina. That's for North Carolina.
And in North Carolina as well?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So we don't need Canada. What we need Canada for is more landmass. You are upper North Dakota now. You are upper Montana now. You just don't know it yet.
Did you guys know?
But see, you know what else?
Did you guys know that they supply parts of the United States with electricity?
Which is crazy, but bro, everybody wants to come to America, to lack of a better term, to come sell their dope. Like That white is produced in Afghanistan, right? That is not produced over here.
Hey, yo,
It's
Father
shipped over
Dusty
here
said,
and sold over here, right?
Yeah.
Father Dusty said he from Missouri. Horns up.
Okay.
Okay. Listen.
So what I'm saying is everybody come over like, okay, look, how much does a Mercedes Benz go for in Germany?
A lot less than it does here.
And how much do a Maybach or something hit you for over here? What's the tariff on that?
260. I know that for a fact. 260.
Yeah,
You understand?
Yeah, he got a Maybach, bro.
260.
No, but do you see what I'm saying? A car that's probably what, 10, 20,000?
It's
Where
actually
they make it at, you
105,000 in
come over
Germany.
here and you mark it up 260,000?
But it's
Yeah.
actually like 100. How much, G?
115,000 in Germany. American.
But you double plus that over here.
Yeah.
Everything come over here, we pay a heavy price. And a lot of these places don't even sell American goods like that. But then this is what I'm saying. Everybody wants to come. If all of these places are so great, why do they want to come over here? Let's take the Latino people out of it, right? It's a whole lot of Asian people over here. It's a whole lot of, if you from Cali, every 7-Eleven and little cheap seedy motel up and down the Holstros is ran by them Indian people. Okay? A lot of tire shops, liquor stores, they're ran by Asians. A lot of the smoke shops is ran by Armenians. You get what I'm saying? Everybody wants to come out here and get a piece of this American dollar, but swear up and down we need them. No, you come peddle your product. It's like you taking your product out of town and making triple the profits, like Ice Cube's summer vacation. So whatever you bring from out of the United States, when you bring it to the United States, it's gonna get the highest markup. So you getting all profit.
Yeah, they're getting more profit than we will ever gain. But Brett,
so now Trump say that's over.
Hold on, Biggie. Hold on.
Brett, here's the thing, brother. I think you taking the Canadian people and not realizing what your government's doing. That's not one and the same.
We want him to hit the link, but he don't.
I want you to hit the link, to be honest.
He's not gonna hit the link because what were they over there trying to just do to Trudeau? Didn't they get rid of Trudeau in that system they was talking about? You remember that MMA fighter that went in on Canada and Trudeau saying they was freezing people bank accounts, et cetera, et cetera. So don't come on here with your nose all stuck up, nigga, like Canada got something going on that we don't, or it's better than us.
Hey, Big E, your boy Rick is taking shots at you. He goes,
hey, I know, bro, but see, that's why his last album flopped. That's why his last album flopped. Right, that's why he's still at home living off them old memories.
It does work on. It does work on.
I know Bumpkin got something to say.
Hold on, Brett. Brett. Paste it where they can click it from the phone.
Oh, I got you.
He's about to paste it where you can click it from the phone, where you can be able to click it. Go ahead, Bunkin.
Yeah. Okay. So the idea, or even the conception, that Canada, in the case of a war with the U.S., would even have a fighting chance is
negative,
laughable, right?
Fact.
Like open warfare, like we are now at war with Canada, laughable. Mexico would have a better fighting chance because they have a bigger population. That's laughable, bro. Like, so he's saying like acts of war talk, blah blah blah. Yes, buddy. This is how geopolitics work. If you have the bigger stick, you're allowed to talk louder.
Yep.
This is how this works. And I know it sounds brutal. I know it sounds honest, but this is how this works. Politics is power, okay? We have the United States has a better geopolitical position if Canada became 10 states. And then we also take Greenland. Right? Screw it. Throw Mexico in there too. Like, my name on YouTube is Pax Americana, right? I can justify all this, okay? Right? Mexico, right, would supply us with a huge industry boost, right? That has a bunch of land down there that we build a bunch of industry. Canada has a ton of resources plus oil, and you mix that with Alaska as well, right? We could run huge pipelines through there, okay? Greenland is extremely strategical for a push-off point in case of any sort of conflict within Europe or Russia. These are all strategic points for America, right? And honestly, I'm going to be real with you, there's not much of a cultural difference between Americans and Canadians. The only difference is if we took Canada tomorrow, they would get their freedoms back. That's that.
Because they took your firearms away.
They took your firearms away. They took your rights away.
Salute to Powder Dusty, first time on the panel. Right now, everything is moving. I got one device telling me 11, another device telling me 6, this device telling me 20. I don't even know how many people watching, man. But hit that like button wherever you at.
Salute, Dusty. I'm not going to say the beginning part of it.
Oh, and Brett, he just hit the link in the chat, Brett.
Me, no, I typed it in.
Oh. What the hell?
But what's up?
You ain't cut and paste it?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I typed the last few letters in manually. Yeah, you can't really click vertical links unless you're on a computer.
I am on a computer. Oh, you mean you can't click it unless
The viewer, yeah, the viewer can click it if we're watching on a computer, but not from a phone.
Bro, it is, dude, this argument is laughable. Look at the pound tonnage of the American military, bro. He's like, Canada's the reason why the Geneva Convention was existed. Yes, bro, 80 years ago. There's not going to be a Geneva Convention if we are literally surrounding you on your both coasts, and we have superior air force. Dude, bro, we can move 20,000 troops out of Afghanistan within a week. What do you think? How fast do you think we can mobilize if you're on a border with us?
Give me 1 second. Hey, yo, Brett, I actually did what Bro Logic does. I actually put the link on my comments on the community tab. It says link to today's live. If you go to the community tab, the link is right there, and it'll bring you right up here. Pause.
Yeah. And by the way, Brett, these are all people from different backgrounds. You got a so-called Puerto Rican and black guy, a Caucasian guy. You got multiple people that's not trying to hear that.
Hold up, bro.
You reached a different America today, buddy.
Hold up,
yeah, buddy. This is a different America. Guess what, buddy? I'm right on your border.
What you mean by
I'm 30 minutes away from Canada.
We say so-called.
Hold up, yo. He's just trying to take a shot at me. Y'all just want what you mean by so-called Puerto Rican, bro?
So-called. We say so-called because people are different colors of grain, not actually race.
Oh, salute Real Odds, another member, man. We definitely got members pulling. Now, hold up, man. I got to give my member an entry. My bad. Maybe members for you guys is used to that, but this is my first monetized channel, and people just started gifting members less than 10 days ago. I've only been monetized in 3 weeks, man. I'm sorry about that.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Hey, can I ask a question? Can I ask a question real quick? This is just in general to the panel.
Is it an hour question or a 5-minute question? Because with you, we never know.
No, look, real talk. A lot of stuff people are outraged about today. They didn't seem to be outraged when Bill Clinton and Barack Obama did a whole lot of the same stuff. With Doge, all that. You get what I'm saying? It only seems to be a problem now that Trump is doing it. It didn't seem to be a problem with no other president.
Doing what?
The energy when Joe Biden was deporting people. What was the energy then? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, snap. All I know is this. Hold up a second, y'all. All I know, get together. He's here, right? Y'all better have that same energy.
Yeah.
Y'all better not start backing down on him now. And remember, since it's only one of him. There's only one Brett. Brett about to, so you got to give him time to respond to all of y'all.
That's fine.
Are you saying Brett? Okay, who is Brett? Oh, okay, there we go. Okay,
how you doing, man?
That don't like America. Yo, salute, Brett.
He likes America.
I'm just talking.
My girlfriend is American, so
real quick, immediately.
Okay.
But no,
we're gonna
What's his name?
Brett. Canada as Canada and Canadians, we really, really, really don't like the disrespectful talk like you hear from Blumpkin up here, where you're literally threatening economic warfare on us, threatening annexation, and we are a NATO ally. We are a G7 nation, okay? The American ignorance and superiority complex combined with your isolationism and your imperialistic attitude, the world's done, man. The world has had enough of the U.S. bullshit. I'm just telling you, you're a pariah state now. The world is starting to say, F you, U.S.
Because we threatened tariffs on Canada, that's the straw that broke the camel's back. The whole world's fed up with us now.
Hold on, Dusty. He addressed me. 1 second. Okay, Brett. That's fine. I got a real question for you, though. Who is NATO?
North Atlantic Treaty Organization.
Yeah. What is NATO? Who supports NATO, and who is the primary military force of NATO?
It's a group of allied forces.
It's America, buddy. Time and time again, we support NATO. No. Because the statistics back this up. Brett, the statistics back this up, right? Militarily and economically, right? Militarily and economically, we are NATO. The United States is NATO. If we left tomorrow, Russia would take it all, bro. I don't want to hear it. If they wanted to, they would take it, right? We are NATO. So the fact that you're a NATO nation, listen, if America went full isolationist tomorrow, right? And actually started imperializing nations.
You even said yourself,
buddy,
I have to cut you off. You even said yourself, you guys even said up here, I listened to you before I came up, that you don't care about anything or anybody outside your own borders. You don't care.
I said
that's what I mean. It's that isolationism. You're too busy focused inward on yourselves. You don't give a shit about the rest of the planet.
Can I speak on that?
You don't care about your allies.
Hold up, everybody.
Can I ask a question real quick to Brett?
Hold up, everybody. Hold up 1 second. Hold on. We got to get this together. I'm going to let G go, and then I'm going to respond. Go ahead, G.
Okay, let me ask you this, brother. What's wrong with us thinking about ourselves? Let me ask you that. Brett.
Are you meaning like you're totally okay if you can benefit America if you go steal oil from, Syria, or if you go like steal gold from Iraq? Who cares about ethnic cleansing and genocide and war crimes if it benefits the American people with increased oil production?
You said you was listening, right? So obviously you would know that a lot of us got the stance of we don't support what that other places doing over there in the Middle East. That's first of all. We don't consider a lot of us Americans don't consider them an ally. Now, my question to you: you're saying that Canada is so great and such a good country. Why did Canada sit there and threaten us about turning our power off because we threatened them with tariffs? If they're such an ally, why was they willing to cut our power off and our energy off? Let me ask you that.
Well, sure, no problem. So first of all, Trump broke his own trade deal, okay? Mm-hmm. Then he threatened, actually, the threats came prior. He threatened Canada. He threatened us with the American 51st state bullshit, which is never going to happen. Not only did he do that, he threatened annexation, and people were like, oh, it's just Trump being Trump, da-da-da-da-da. When you combine that with his actions afterwards, because he said he was going to conduct economic warfare on Canada. He was very openly stated it. Then he actually did it, okay? He broke his own trade deal and waged economic warfare on Canada. These are acts of aggression and acts of war. Do you think the Canadians are just going to sit here and be like, oh, ho, hum, that's cool?
Or
are we going to stand up?
But there's one part of that whole thing that you missed. That there's a whole part of everything you said that you're just leaving out. He said the way Canada depends on America, it should be a 51st state. That's the part that he's talking about. The dependency of how many people are taking from America. No, he's saying he's talking about everybody. He's like, America needs to concentrate on itself right now. And every other country is upset because us Americans, we see it. We see our roads are messed up. We see our education. You're shaking your head. No, you don't even drive on.
I'm agreeing with you. Hey, dude.
But
I
that's
agree
what
with
he's
you.
saying.
You want to know what? You want to know what would make America great again? Is if you started closing some of your 800 plus military bases around the world, started bringing the troops back home, stop giving money to the Ukraine and Israel, and start building bridges and building roads and invest in yourself. That would get your economy going.
That's what he wants to do.
That's what we're doing.
Put money in people's pockets.
Can I say something? Can I say something now, bro? Just real quick to Brett. What you just said, that's what we all are talking about. Literally what you just said. Asking, like GFS said, you have all different backgrounds on this panel. And every
This
one
guy
of
above
us
me, Blumpkin, right here, is talking about annexing my country and being
hold on. I'm gonna let him
America
address
taking
you.
us over.
But hold up, let me finish addressing you, and then let Bumpkin address you. Let Bumpkin, he's right there. He got you. What I'm saying, that even if you felt he disagreed, that's one man, right? So and he's articulating his point. But what I'm saying is that the majority of Americans feel like just what you just said. That's why Harris and them got voted out. The Democrats were so bad they lost everything. You see what I'm saying? You can't say it. I mean, we're pro-America now. Open borders did not help us. You get what I'm saying? So now we like, we finna tighten up America.
Know all that, dude.
Okay, so why you feel like if we feel the way that you feel, then why would you hate us? Like the Americans don't, we don't, you know what I'm saying? Like we don't have nothing to do with the political side of it. We feel like you feel. So why the animosity?
Because of what he said.
You guys give me 1 second.
Don't talk 51st anything.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second,
talk
Brett. You're gonna go.
annexation.
Wait 1 second,
It's a
Brett.
threat.
Hold up, Brett. You're gonna go.
It's a
1 second.
promise.
Hey, Powder Dusty. Hold up 1 second, you guys.
Hey, Flo. Hey.
You could definitely share this through your channel if you want. That's a whole option. That's why that option is there. We actually want that. This is part of the beginning. 1 million people in the chat. I'm guessing this is how we're gonna do it. Get all of us sharing our content. So now remember, we're monetized. We just got the monetization. We don't care what. Just watch the words. We're not trying to get booted. But yeah, just keep it respectful. Remember, there's people listening.
Let
People
Dusty
do wanna
go.
hear what I got to say.
Yeah, let Dusty go because Dusty been sitting there nice and quiet and waiting for a while. So let Dusty go.
He about to go ahead.
You're muted, buddy. You're
muted, my guy. Oh,
how am I now?
Perfect.
Okay. Yeah, no, I've been patient because I've been driving. I just got come back to me in just 1 second. You do that?
Yeah,
I'll set up a stream.
Go ahead, Bunkin.
Hi, Brett. How's it going, buddy? Here's the thing, right? I'm for Pax Americana, buddy. I think it'd be much better in Canada's interest and Mexico's interest if we all unified under one banner and the biggest one with the military. Why? What is so great about you being a UK satellite? What is so great about Canada, right? Which has a terrible immigration policy, which has a terrible rights policy for its citizens, and which has a ridiculous freedom of speech policy. What is so great about that?
First of all, I have more freedom of speech than you do, by the way, so thanks for that.
No, you don't.
Yes, we do, because you have freedom of speech right up until you say free Palestine, and then you get disappeared and held without charges.
Free Palestine. I've said free Palestine. I've said free Palestine on the streets. No.
Answer, do you want an answer to your question?
I got to dispute what you said though. I've said free Palestine in front of cops in DC
right
on the inauguration. In the inauguration, right? And guess what? I'm still here.
Would you like an answer to your question now?
Go ahead.
Do you honestly think Canadians want to give up our healthcare system for your broken one that has the most bankruptcies due to freaking healthcare debt?
Do you come here when you have major health issues?
Hold on. Do you think that Canada, who constantly ranks in the top 5 countries in the world every single year for quality of life, want to exchange our top 5 country for your 25th ranked country? Do you think we want to give up our education system, which is constantly ranks up near the top, for your guys' education system, which is way, way down on the scale? Do you think we want to give up all of that for your bullshit, getting into wars, funding Israel, funding genocide? I mean, we do it too. We're helping Israel. Don't get me wrong. I know we aren't the good guys, okay? But we don't want to give up what we have here in Canada as far as our education, our healthcare, our quality of life, our life expectancy, our infant mortality rates. We don't want to give all that up to be part of your U.S. shithole, period.
If we're a shithole, why are you so mad that we don't want to deal with y'all?
Here's the thing.
Here's the thing.
No. Here's the thing, right?
He still got his time on reserve. You ready to go or no? You need more time?
Yeah, no, I'm good to go. I'm good to go.
Hey,
one
Dusty,
second.
I'm gonna let you handle him real quick, man.
All right, well, let Bumpkin finish and then Dusty go.
1 second. You're already giving it to Indians. Go ahead.
I'm probably going to disappoint everybody because, first of all, Brett, it's not an act of war. It's a fucking tariff. Don't be so dramatic about it. But to the Americans, there's two components to the tariff thing. One is the one that we're all talking about, right? The country to country negotiations. The other one that affects all of us way more, but that nobody really is talking about because it's the angle that is left out, is the increase in consumer prices that tariffs are to all of us. So we're sitting here champion on tariffs, but all that really ends up being at the end of the day is an increase in consumer prices to the American citizens.
Yeah, it's a tax.
Yeah.
Right. So tariffs aren't a good, I don't know. Tariffs aren't a good thing for us.
No, they're not.
Yeah. So.
No, but here's the thing. No. I don't want you to stop talking because I think me and you are on the same page. I don't agree with tariffs. Okay. Mm-hmm. But also, when you have somebody from another country come here and telling us how we're doing things, but they don't want to admit when their country is wrong, when they sat there and put 250% tariffs on us, but they okay with that for their country to thrive and keep their jobs.
Oh, yeah.
We want to do something, and then hold on, Brent. Hold on. And then there's a problem. Also, you said you guys have more freedom of speech than us. Then what happened to the truck drivers that were protesting against the jab? What happened to their freedom?
I was there, by the way. I was at the border blockade, freedom convoy protest.
You get your account frozen?
That's how I ended up on YouTube.
Did your account get frozen?
I was at the freedom convoy protest.
Did your account get frozen?
I heard you mention something about 250%, and I can only imagine what you're referring to as dairy, right? I know that's been a hot topic.
Not only dairy, but there's other products too.
Okay, well, I'll talk on dairy for just a moment if I could, because there's two things there. Number one, those tariffs of 250% don't get applied until the U.S. exports like 13 million gallons of milk or something to our country, which they've never done. It's never happened. So those tariffs don't even exist and have never been applied, right? Number two, U.S. dairy doesn't meet our health and safety regulations. It is low quality. We don't want it. There's too many hormones. It's unhealthy. It doesn't meet our standards here. So I understand the big flex, right? That you think America is number one and the greatest, and you're just the end all be all with the superiority complex. But it's just not the truth, facts, and reality.
The truth and fact and reality of it is, though, other countries have done war games. When these war games are done, they're done by other entities, right? And guess what they say? If America went full bars, right, complete isolations and declared war on the rest of the nation, we win. Every single time.
You would have to bring a lot of troops home from your imperialist society.
We can move 20,000 troops in a week, buddy.
900 military bases around the world.
We can move
20,000
troops in 1 week.
I'm going to tell you this, bro. Nobody cares about the ugly chick. Nobody, right? But everybody cares about the most beautiful chick, and they always trying to call her ugly because they don't want to be with them. So if we're so whack and we're this, why do you care that we want to be so view ourselves at such a high level? Because everybody wants to be here. Everybody wants to come to America, bro. I don't know how.
So
No,
if America's
we
not
don't.
number one, who is?
We
Who's
don't
number
want to
one?
come to America. That's what you don't understand. And
Oh,
you
no,
No,
do
that's
see the
Canadians. That's Canadians. When that border was open, you had Syrians, Haitians, Chinese. You had everybody from around the world rushing through that border. Come on, man. That's immaculate cap.
That is not true. Actually, in reality, the problem with the Canada-US border is that there are people flooding Canada from the US. There are
Okay,
drugs
but I'm
coming
on
from
the
the US
southern
into
border.
Canada.
I'm in
And
California. I'm in
and
California.
cool. And it is also being reported there is way more drugs that come north to Canada from the US than anything comes from down there.
Oh
So
my
I
God.
understand.
There's not
You
enough
know
drugs in
why?
Canada.
Is malarkey.
No.
I
Do you know why that is,
understand.
Brett?
I understand the American superiority complex, okay? The fact of the matter is, the only thing that you're the best and number one at is incarceration of your own citizens, right? Arms dealings and weapons manufacturing. Like the things you're number one at, you don't want to be number one at. When it comes to quality of life,
Economy size?
healthcare, education, the things that actually matter that you want to be number one at, the U.S. ranks way down.
All right.
Where
so
does
can we
Canada
say this?
rank in assisted self-deletion? So let me hold on. Let me save a hope, Brett, real quick.
Thank you, Rashu.
I do believe him when he says his position on America. America really doesn't rank all that highly in a lot of measures of well-being. I do think Canada ranks a little higher. However, Canada, as far as like whether or not Canada can influence the U.S. the way the U.S. can influence Canada, is just absolutely a non-contest. Economy size.
Sorry,
Go ahead.
sorry, Floyd.
Economy size is massively different.
I was just gonna say, like you guys complaining about the tariffs, which I understand. Like as Dusty said, or Flohate said, they're not good for anybody, right? They're not good for you guys. They're not good for us.
Yeah.
It's not good for anybody. Zion Dawn is out of his mind. It started the dumbest trade war ever, according to the National Post or whatever, New York Times, whatever.
Wait, do you understand the
But
cops?
hold on. Let me land my point. Let me land my point. It'll be real quick. The tariffs are bad, right?
No.
What y'all are understanding with this whole annexation talk is what the citizens of Canada are doing with the outright boycott of all U.S. products is far worse than anything that the tariffs are going to do. The government tariffs are nothing compared to Canadian citizens' outright boycott of U.S. products. And the Kentucky bourbon makers have even said this. They're like, tariffs are one thing, but like, hold on. Like they're taking our products off the shelves and we can't even get those export sales now.
You're talking alcohol, bro. So now the purpose of the tariff, he literally said, isn't for the tariff to be paid. It's to make them companies build places here. It's to the tariff is a deterrent. He don't want you to pay them. He wants you to make a company here to make U.S. jobs for U.S. citizens that's going to put more money into our economy, bro. That's the point of the tariff. He doesn't want them to be paid.
That's not the way to do it, though. That's what I said earlier, where it'd be better instead of these dumb tariffs, right? It would be far, 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 far better to not only cut the funding to the Ukraine and Israel and stuff, but start closing some of these military bases around the world. Start building bridges, building roads.
Military is how we get our military. Is our biggest asset.
That is how you build a good, strong economy.
No.
Look,
the reality
is to the poor, not the rich.
Brett, you don't understand how the United States economy works. Let me break this down for you, okay? We are an imperialist nation, right? Just like Rome was,
I'm
right?
aware.
If we stop building our military with our current economy set up, we crash and burn, okay? That's the point. Now, if you want to talk about moving towards directions to where we can stop doing that, sure. But there are also other cultural aspects and a lot of other stuff that if we became completely non-imperialist, which might also cause us to crash and burn. Okay.
So I know you probably have this like idea or notion, and I know I heard you guys kind of touch on it earlier, that the U.S. kind of appoints themselves as like the world police, right? You think that you think that all these other nations should be thankful and grateful that the U.S. should be in their countries. And I can tell you right now, nobody wants U.S. troops in their countries. Nobody.
I think we want to
bring the troops home, build bridges, build roads. That is how you give tax breaks to the poor, not the rich. That is how you build a strong economy. That is how you put money in people's pockets.
The poor already don't pay taxes. But here's the thing, right? That's really funny, because I've listened to radio calls or I've seen videos of when these countries were at war, right? Let's say Afghanistan, right? When there was an Australian battalion or a Canadian battalion, right? And they are asking for assistance because they're being held down, right? And when the dude gets over on the other side of the radio and says, all right, American platoon is ready, right? They are so thankful that the American platoon's coming. They're so thankful that it's American platoon and not another platoon, right?
Stop. Are we acknowledging here that the U.S. is entirely responsible for Al Qaeda and stuff? Mujahideen?
Sure, yeah.
We're all aware of this, right?
Sure, yeah.
So, okay. So you're literally creating a problem in another. Syria is a great example. Syria is a fantastic example. You send in these U.S.-backed extremists, if you will. So you create the problem. You offer yourselves as the solution, and you get the desired outcome you want, where we would just saw Syria overthrow government done by the U.S. and Israel.
It happens domestically too.
Literally what just happened. Yeah. So this whole empire building and this whole world control and dominance and conquest and crap, it's very archaic thinking. And
so it's not archaic. It's the natural way that the world has worked for thousands of years.
And you're benefiting off of that, because if Canada was over there, I'm pretty sure they would have gotten taken over already. You're living off of the benefit.
What do you think has pretty much been the primary reason Canada hasn't had a land invasion
at all?
At all. Do you think the U.S. would let another country come in and invade Canada?
We're part of the Commonwealth. Do you know what that is?
What is the UK anymore, bro? The UK has barely a standing military.
Do you know what the Commonwealth is?
Yes, it's the conglomeration of all of the UK's...
UK and its old territories.
UK and its old territories.
Right, so you pick a fight with Canada, that means you're picking a fight with Britain, Australia, New Zealand, like 50
and
countries.
Australia doesn't exist, everyone knows that.
And all of them, the first person they're going to call
is us.
America.
No.
Even with what's going on right now. Brett. No, Brett.
Problem.
It's true, though.
This arrogance and superiority complex.
It's not arrogance, it's just truth.
No, it's not, dude.
Oh my God!
You're both right.
Yes.
You're both right. You're both right.
Dusty,
you're both right.
It's
Remember,
idiotic.
Dusty's gonna give you content all the time.
I know, but it's idiotic to think that if Canada was invaded tomorrow, that the first person that Canada's gonna call is Australia.
They'd probably call China.
Nobody's invading Canada.
They might call China.
Invaded like you are. There is a better chance of an attack happening on U.S. soil than Canadian soil. We don't have the enemies like you do. That's why our citizens can travel around the world with a Canadian flag. And
you don't have enemies because of us.
And if you travel around the world as an American, get treated like crap and snubbed.
Who controls your waters?
We are liked. You are hated.
Who controls the international waters around your nation?
It's just facts.
Who controls the international waters?
That's such a Canadian flex. We're like
international waters. Nobody controls international waters.
You say that. You say that. You can say no one controls international waters. You can say that.
And ignorance.
You can say that. Yes. No one controls international waters because international, except who has the biggest boats.
the arrogance combined with the ignorances.
Oh, shut the fuck up. You're just as smug and arrogant as anybody else.
I don't know where this smugness and arrogance is coming from. Someone where their great grandkids are gonna. Never mind.
You know what he sounds like to me, bro? Because I don't know if you guys ever been in this situation. There's always somebody that's next to the bully. The person that's not the bully, the person next to the bully that gets to live off of the benefits of what the bully does, but never gets to feel the backlash of what the bully's actions, but get to feel the benefits of it. So when you're like, we don't got these enemies, that's because we're putting in the work, but you're benefiting off the work that we're putting in because nobody's going to invade you because they know they got to deal with us.
So now if you want to know what it's really like, what it's actually, okay, somebody yeah.
I want to ask you a question about this right here. Can you share that screen for me, brother, please?
Hold up, where we at? Oh. Hold up, I got you right now.
You just dropped yourself off.
So what it's actually more like is having a very bad neighbor that causes a lot of problems, and it makes it very difficult to be a friend to that neighbor with the problems that go around the world causing.
Be specific.
What it's like.
Which problems have we caused for you?
You
don't say tariffs.
Threatening annexation, besides ripping off and taking
yes. Ignore the immediate ones.
You like ripping us off for our oil, where you guys get oil at below market value, then refine it and sell it back to us at an inflated price and take advantage of us.
Well, why the fuck do you guys? Why are you guys? Hold on. Why are you guys engaging in that transaction twice then?
That's a very good question.
Because they can't refine.
Well, I don't like it because there's a whole lot of people here. There's a whole lot of people here that cry for more pipelines to ship out more raw oil to you guys, and I think they're idiots. We don't need more pipelines. What we need is more refining.
You think
so that we're
oil
not
companies don't know how to?
On the
You
US.
think you know how to make money better than the oil companies?
Hold that sentiment.
You think that you know how to make money off oil better than the oil companies in Canada? No, probably not.
No. Those oil companies are actually across the borders. Our premier here, Danielle Smith, just talked about that like a couple days ago.
So wait, you're saying that there's only American oil companies?
It's not a nationalist thing. It's not a
nationalist
nationalist
thing. We're not getting ripped
thing.
off at all. Then we're just dealing with American companies. We just have. I mean, this is free market interactions. So
it's actually not entirely true, because there are there's some businesses that had their headquarters and offices here in Alberta, and then what happened in Texas? I think there is a new government in Texas, and they lowered their corporate tax rate, which they did, and put their corporate tax rate at almost zero, which saw those corporations move their headquarters from Alberta to Texas. It was for
drop your taxes. Yeah, you should drop your taxes.
Race to the bottom. That's what we need to do. Give tax breaks to the rich and put the burden on the middle class.
Look, St. Brett, taxes are theft anyways. So I know that you fucking liberals love to spend other people's money on the problems.
I'm not a liberal, dumb fuck. Why do you say that?
Because of your attitude towards taxes.
I'm not a liberal or a conservative. I'm not a right or a left. And I think the people that still play the right versus left game are idiots.
Feel? Okay, genius. How do you feel about taxes?
I think the taxes, in one degree, are something that we've all decided to do voluntarily.
Really?
Hold on. Let me finish.
You're capping.
Volunteer as a society. Because we I'm not going to talk for you.
When have you ever voted on a tax?
We decided that we like to have our health care, so we'll pay a bit more tax if it means we don't have to
vote on that? Did you get
bankrupt and lose our houses, right? That's what it entails.
Did you actually get?
If you want to lose your house because
I'm asking a question, I'm not looking for you to
break their arm. Cool. Have fun paying less taxes and still being bankrupt.
Did you vote on that, or were you told that now you have it? It's not rhetorical. I don't know the answer.
Taxes are like a huge thing here that we are freaking out about in Canada. Like
we have
decades.
This
We don't like
goalpost
it.
does not have wheels, and it does not have a V8 engine attached to it. Stay on topic.
Did you
vote on
more
it?
taxes? Personally,
Not that I can recall. No.
no, you didn't. Okay, so let's
So-
reconstruct this narrative. You said that you all agreed
Do
on
you
it.
vote for
And-
more taxes?
Stop. When in fact, you weren't asked at all. You've just accepted them and said, yes, sir.
Do you
Now-
get asked? Do you vote for more taxes?
No.
Do you get them
I'm-
anyways?
Look, I'm not saying that US has a better system. I'm saying that I'm not sitting here lying to myself to ease my cognitive dissonance like you are.
I'm saying I understand why we pay a bit more tax.
You
than
think
guys.
you think I can't conceptualize why taxes are there? I understand it. Nevertheless, if you take something from somebody at the threat of violence that you didn't earn and that they don't want to give you, what do we call that?
Yeah, I know you're getting at the taxation and stuff. Let me ask you a question for just a quick sec. Do you acknowledge that we live in a social democracy society, or are you a person that wants to champion the pipe dream of like anarchy, political anarchy?
Somewhere in between. I would prefer to live in that pipe dream, but I recognize that it's not realistic. Nevertheless, both of us are taxed at dramatically too high of a rate.
Agreed.
So any tax cuts should be applauded, and any tariffs or increased taxes should be booed. So when you're sitting,
funny about that? I'm sorry, I didn't
what's
mean to
funny
cut you
about
off,
that is
but
that you're sitting there saying it's a race to the bottom that Texas cut taxes.
I just find it funny because literally the Liberal Party here in Canada just cut taxes. But yet everybody wants to hate the Liberals. And I'm not a Liberal. I've never voted Liberal in my life. Ever. Not once ever.
You didn't answer not one question that all of us ever asked you on here. You just
Hey,
went
yo,
from
G,
one
turn
thing
up your
to
mic,
another.
please.
He answered one
I'm
of mine.
sorry.
He did it. He answered mine.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Everybody
You're going from one to another.
The
Now,
goalpost has wheels. Go ahead.
how does Canada benefit the United States? Let me
How
ask
does
you-
Canada benefit the United States?
Yeah.
I've already been over a couple of those points, such as like
Give me the main
oil
one.
at
We're trade
oil at
partners.
like
Yeah.
oil at below market value. 80% of the potash used in fertilizer in the US, you get 80% of that potash from Canada. So without Canadian potash, your food prices go up. Without Canadian oil, your gas prices go up. Without Canadian electricity, you have millions of homes being left in the dark. So be careful and be maybe a little bit more, sorry, Bumpkin, not to pick on you or anything, but maybe a little bit have a bit more of a better attitude as far as respect and gratitude and
I mean, you need
appreciation.
to recognize
on.
that you
Instead
need
of
us more than we need you.
superiority and
Now, hold on for
Nah.
a second, Brett. Hold on for a second, Brett, because that's where your prime minister's having a problem. Because what he wants to do is make us self-reliant, make us reliant on our own electricity. Your guy said, why would you even want to do that? That was his response to Trump saying we want to be self-reliant. We don't want to rely so much on other countries. And you guys got the
Cool,
fence
neither
to
do
go
we.
with that.
Okay, Brett. The reason why we got the oil cheaper is because you guys can refine your own oil.
Yes, we can.
That's refine it for you.
No, yes, we can. And we used to actually have a lot more refining here. I know because I grew up about 10 minutes down the road from a refinery where I was born in Fort
Look,
St. John, BC.
If you're not refining there
Down
still,
the
that's a
road-
Canada problem, not a U.S. problem.
down the road, like 10 minutes down the road from where I was born, used to be a major refinery in a place called Taylor, British Columbia.
Used to be
The
could be.
liberal-
Used to be
No, hold on,
The
hold on, hold
liberals-
on. Let him finish because I got something for him.
The liberals and the conservatives both have overseen the dismantling of our refining capabilities. We have been made to be dependent and reliant on the US, and most Canadians don't like it.
Where did your refineries go?
They were dismantled.
Why?
I literally just explained that why.
Because of America? You're saying we made you dismantle them.
Should have left that screen, G.
I'm going to repeat myself from what I just said 20 seconds ago.
No, I'm gonna show you something.
Our liberal and conservative governments oversaw the dismantling of our refining capabilities, and we were made more dependent and reliant on the U.S.
So it was your own fault.
And Canadians don't like it. We really don't like it.
So you did it to yourselves.
Can we not? Maybe something we can all agree on is none of us have control over our governments. Did you have control over what Biden was doing?
You didn't want to accept that when it's us. Now we got to accept it when it's you?
Yeah,
I will agree with
you
that.
just talked about.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying, right? But you just went on like a 30-minute rant about how the U.S. backs Israel, and you know damn well none of us on this panel that are American even supports that or voted on that. So
right. So don't say your prime minister, your guy this, your guy, and blame it on me. Like I have all this control.
All right, hold up one second. What we got here, G? Okay. What we got here? What we looking at?
What you said, shoulda, coulda, woulda, okay? Because you guys have bad policies, all right? You can't blame us for you guys' bad policies, just like we can't blame you guys for our bad policies, okay? So,
right. Trust me, no Canadian likes the fact that we
60% of your crude. So without us, you can't even refine your own crude because you're not set up.
Yes, we can though. Crude. All we have to do is rebuild refining capabilities, and we can do it just fine.
Oh yeah, that's going to happen in a year or two. That's not how it works.
You have no short-term
we have
or intermediate-term
the
capacity.
most educated population per capita on the face of planet Earth. Our aerospace engineering used to be number one in the world. We're very smart people. We can refine our own oil. Well, Canadians don't like that our refining was dismantled and we were made reliant.
We're not saying nobody's saying that you guys couldn't figure it out. We're saying you do not have the infrastructure right now.
You don't have the infrastructure.
There's not. We do. We actually have oil refining in Alberta, out east. We just don't have enough of it. We used to have more. Like when I was 10 years old, I'm coming up on 50. We had way more refining in this country. We did.
We heard.
And it's been slowly chipped away at, dismantled. And like you guys have been made reliant on us for our oil, for our potash, for our electricity, etc. We've been made reliant on you. And so, you guys don't like it, we don't like it either.
And that's fine.
So that's the thing that Canada and America need to agree on is we're tired of exporting and removing our own facilities and jobs.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. So when we want to protect ourselves is the problem. But here's the thing. You say you guys are the smartest, but Trudeau makes you guys look bad because, man, if you look at Trudeau, he wasn't too smart.
Cool. I never liked the banker puppet. Before he was ever elected, I was telling everybody he was like Trudeau Sr., where we lost control of our banking in 1974. I've never voted Liberal in my life. So why is it, I'm curious actually, why is it that so many conservatives in the United States think that every citizen in Canada is a freaking Liberal? We're not.
A lot of you are.
A majority of you are.
It seems like most of the Canadians I meet are somewhere, but
you sound liberal. You sound like a liberal.
You making yourself sound like a liberal. That's a fact.
Most of the,
but I'm not a liberal or a conservative. I have the brains enough not to vote for either one of them because they're both corrupt.
Neither am I.
So you're doing your country a disservice.
Yeah, neither am I. But usually, Brett.
Cool. Hate all of Canada because Brett got on fucking. Sorry, I'm going to try to swear.
Oh, we hated Canada before that.
Because Brett got on panel and made some points.
Can I ask you a question, Brett? Okay. Like, say our choices, we're going to just say it was Harris or Trump, right? Whether we voted for them or not, one of them was going to get in office, and their policies is what's going to rule the land over the next 4 years. So being as though there's nothing we could do to stop either one of them from being in office, why wouldn't I vote for the one that I felt like suited my best interest? Y'all act like these politicians are supposed to come to your house and have dinner with you. Y'all don't know them. We don't know none of them. All we can do is vote for their policies. So why do y'all take, politicians like so personal, bruh?
Politics has been my hobby and passion for over 30 years. So, but I disagree with what you said. What you just said. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I think some of what you just said is the exact problem. We have the same problem here in Canada as you guys have down there with. How did I hear it put recently? You have one capitalist party masquerading as two. We have the same problem here with corrupt red and blue parties themselves. And I think that having the same problem, we citizens need to be much more responsible and do a much better job at punishing these people at the freaking at the ballot box.
You got to.
We need to stop voting red.
Hey, bro, I voted for Trump. I'm cool with my vote, bro. I hold no bones about it. I voted for Trump, and I stand on it.
So Americans, you guys know that our vote there's no mechanism connecting the president to our vote at all. Our vote is just a trivia poll.
Yeah, it's just an illusion that we vote for somebody. No, Brett, you love your country, right? Well, assume so, because you're doing all this for Canada.
I'm against annexation, if that's what you mean. Yes, and we will take up.
I mean, loving your country is loving your country. I love my country. I'm just asking you a question. You love Canada, right?
The tattoo on my ass is made in Canada. Yes, I got another one.
Pause, super pause, man.
Premium maple syrup, huh?
Yeah, I love Canadian maple syrup too.
Hold up 1 second, Joe. Hold up, G.
How's everyone doing today? I am Elon Musk. And me and President Donald Trump, we advise you to subscribe to Mr. Emily in the chat. He is the host of a channel on YouTube called 5/5. He is President Trump Jr. We call him in the Oval Office when nobody is around 5/5 Trump Jr. 5/5 Trump Jr. is his name. And his channel is 5/5 Subscribe and hit that notification bell on YouTube, so you can stay current with the top news. I am Elon Musk, the master of the universe. Shh. No one needs to know that I really am the president behind the scenes.
You heard me?
I'm the president behind
that last line was that's
that's the old joint. I got newer ones that I haven't been playing it because I got all you guys on the panel. But yeah, man.
Hey, Brett, so you do love Canada, right? I just want to be clear.
Like I said, the tattoo on my ass is made in Canada.
Well,
I'm not going to show it to you because this is all PG.
Okay.
But
Yeah, I don't want to see it anyway. But
receipts or it didn't happen.
I actually have those receipts posted on my channel.
Send them to Blumpkin.
Yeah, you love Canada so much. You love Canada that you have a Palestinian flag behind you.
Oh, hold up 1 second. Yo, Chaotic Truth, I'm going to drop that link. If not, it's definitely on my community tab. Hit that link and come up here, my guy. Go ahead. Sorry about that. Go ahead, man.
Man, he better pop up here.
Why don't you have the Canadian flag instead of the Palestinian flag behind you?
Ooh, that's a good question. I mean, he can ask me the same thing, but that's a good question.
Well, that's an American flag too. So
I know. Come on, man. You can't be giving the people the answers, bro. Okay. Come on, man. Look, there it is. He's showing it to you. There it is. Look.
Okay, but that's
just so you know. Hold on. Just so you know, this here Canada flag was at the border blockade protest.
Okay.
I went and helped my fellow citizens shut down an international border because our charter rights were being violated. So I got the flag tattooed on this shoulder. So trust me, I very much. I got the Canadian flag flying from the back of my truck right now too, a different one.
Yeah,
so,
but it wasn't behind you.
What kind of truck, though? What kind of truck do you drive?
Is it an American truck?
You drive a Ford?
You drive a Ford?
Fords are terrible.
You drive a Chevy?
Damn it, Brett. Why do we have to like the same trucks?
Hey, Rick, you know I set people up, brother.
I'm a GM guy.
Dodge or bust, anyways.
Man, hit that link, Chaotic. Where you at?
Dodge is that white trash shit.
Whoa!
We're not
having this white on white violence right now.
All right, we don't need to have a civil war right now.
We don't need to have a civil war right now, okay?
All right.
So somebody's channel just got a super chat family to the flow tariff. It was
Shout out,
1776, $5 super chat over there. Good luck. Whoever's channel you watching, hit that super chat up. I don't care where you at. We got 59 people watching. We're streaming on multiple platforms. Subscribe to the channels, hit that like button, and definitely hit them super chats. And if you can, become a member too.
Wait, vehicles are made in America? I thought that changed.
No, vehicles
made in Colorado, bro.
Vehicles aren't made in America, -1, and it's not an American company. Toyota Tundras specifically are made in America.
Really? Well, now Honda already said they coming back.
Coming back? They're
Because
never here.
Tariff. No, because of that tariff. He said they're gonna start making them here. Said BMW's about to be here.
The Tundra's made in San Antonio, Texas, brother.
Was it Big E that said they lived in California? Who said they lived in California?
Big E lives in Cali.
Yes, sir. That's me.
So can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Did you like it when our Canada Air water bombers came and helped you put out forest fires?
Well, yes, I did. But being as though Gavin Newsom actually belongs on the short bus, I mean, that's no surprise. I mean, the Pacific Ocean was right there, and he didn't want them to use the ocean water for some strange reason. So, that's actually leadership. That has nothing to do with the residents, of California, bro. Gavin Newsom, Harris, all that whole regime, bro, they ain't worth 2 dead flies.
Do you think that residents in states like Oregon and Montana like it when the Canadian water bombers that are made in Canada, by the way, show up to put out their forest fires and help and be an ally and a friend?
Well, let me answer that kind of like this. Is that more of a humanitarian thing, or are you trying to politicize that?
I'm just trying to say that we're your best friends and allies, and we don't appreciate being spoken about.
Okay, Brett. Canada's the best. We love Canada. Everybody in America loves Canada.
But has anybody on this panel disrespected you in any kind of way, though?
Yes.
Who disrespected you?
He's gonna say bunking.
I do it regularly.
I'm always the heel, and I'll continue to be the heel. All right.
Okay, I tell you what. If you guys want to make it better, stop with the 51st state rhetoric. Don't joke about it. Don't joke about it. Don't laugh about it. It is not funny.
Sure.
It's extremely disrespectful.
So we definitely have American freedom.
Okay, so Brett, let me ask you something. Let me ask, in real talk, I'm just asking
Northern
you a
Montana
question.
it is then. Go ahead.
You when you got up here, you said, now again, this is you. Now y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, that you guys feel like you're mentally superior. We number one in incarceration, this, that, and the third. Now, how respectful is that coming to the table?
Okay. I'm sorry that I responded and retaliated.
Now, come on, man, with the malarkey. Come on, Brett. Come on.
I think
come on, man.
I think that we can all just be adult men and just move on without like having to kiss the boo-boos.
I can't believe I'm agreeing with Flow Hate, but yeah.
Yeah, but I'm saying if you're gonna have conversations in good faith, you cannot. I mean, bro, you can't come with like a mental superiority complex to other grown men, like. Because you live in Canada, hold up, Brett. What I'm saying is nobody on this panel is stupid. So if you come up on a panel of grown men who have some kind of mental acuteness, talking about how much more mentally superior you are because you live in Canada, I don't understand how you don't feel like you came in hot. I mean, I don't get that. Am I blowing that out of proportion, panel? Am I reading that wrong, panel?
Hold up 1 second. Orthodox guy backstage, can you at least cam up so I can see who you are?
I vouch for him. He doesn't have a camera.
I apologize that you feel slighted. That
I know him. Yeah,
say
he's my
that
co-host.
Canada has a better education system.
Now you see the little smarty eye. You see.
Brett should have kept his Palestinian smug mouth shut.
Now, Orthodox guy.
So Dusty, I'm not tripping with that, right? Am I? Is that fair? Was that a fair assessment?
I thought you were tripping a little bit on it at first, but like then he came back with that, and it's just like I don't even give a fuck anymore. Y'all have at it.
Places like Sweden and Norway have a better quality of life than we do here in Canada.
But here's the thing about like this
them
whole
having a better
like,
quality of life. I don't feel slighted. Okay, like
you just gotta talk to Canada like it's somebody's like kind of autistic little brother, right? Like,
so what if I present a video for you guys? Is that all right?
Is it
welcome to the new people on panel?
Oh yeah, welcome, my bad. Yeah. Welcome to the new people on the panel. Hold on. Salute to Orthodox guys. The first time you ever been on the panel. We just monetized, so we're trying to watch the language a little bit, but we definitely bring in the content. You got something to say before we share this video real quick?
Oh no, man. It's good to be here. Good to find you. Bumpy told me about this earlier. Sorry I'm late.
Are you a liberal or are you a lefty or righty?
He's super righty.
I'm so far right that you just can't.
Like you don't even want to ask how far right he is.
So he's never wrong.
Yeah,
he's definitely wrong. He's wronger than Brett. He's so far right.
Wronger.
I can't do.
So check this out, you guys. We're only gonna play part of this. Check this out.
Now more of my interview. They have a $60 billion trade deficit. China has like a $300 billion last year. You said it goes up when you add it all up. It's $1 trillion.
Way over 100, Canada. And here's my problem with Canada. Canada was meant to be the 51st state because we subsidize by $200 billion.
Click boom.
We don't need their cars. We don't need their lumber. We have a lot of lumber. We freed it up, as you know, last week.
No, I got some lumber.
You can actually cut down a tree without being, given the death penalty, because what these radical environmentalists have done to our country. But we freed it up. But we don't need their lumber. We don't need their energy. We don't need anything. We certainly don't want their automobiles. They make a lot of.
See what I'm saying? Yeah, I could keep going.
Millions of automobiles are sent in. I'd rather have them made in Michigan. I'd rather have them made in South Carolina or any one of our.
You're tougher with Canada than you are with some of our biggest adversaries.
Only because it's meant to be our 51st state. And listen to this for a second.
We need their territory. They have territorial advantage. We're not going to let them get close to China.
Look, right? I deal with every country, indirectly or directly.
Fun fact,
one of the nastiest countries to deal with is Canada. The people that, now this was Trudeau, the people that good old Justin, I call him Governor Trudeau, his people were nasty, and they weren't telling the truth. They never told the truth. You know that, they'd say, well, we don't charge. Well, they do. They charge tremendous. And if you look at dairy products, what they've done to our farmers, I'd go up to Iowa, I'd go up to different places, Nebraska, and they would always complain about Canada, how they get ripped off. Do you know that Canada has a 250% tariff? 250, nobody knows that. They charge us numbers that are crazy. We have a very big deficit with Canada, and there's no reason, much more. We have much more. Just so you understand, we subsidize Canada, and I like Canada. I love Canada. I love Wayne
now
Gretzky.
The Liberal guy,
I love his wife.
The Liberal Party is going to win now in the next.
So how with him saying these type of things, these are numbers that people don't talk about. People only talk about the numbers that they're friendly with. Mind you, we didn't play the whole video only because there's a whole lot of people, and I know a bunch of people are going to want to reply. And we even got Rick getting mad at me because he's like, we just made progress with Brett. Why would I play this video for starters if you didn't know?
Progress sucks.
Yes, my son, 5 Trump Jr. Yes, my son, MAGA, Mr. A. Millie in the chat. You're doing awesome, my child. Trump Jr., yes, Trump Jr. doing a great job. Give a round of applause for Trump Jr. Subscribe to 5/5, my son, Trump Jr. Give it up one time.
Trump Jr., you heard?
Brett, can we get our money back? That's what I want to ask you. Can we get our money back?
No refunds.
Look, Brett got in the chat. He goes, he will. It will. He's writing in the chat.
Come on, Brett.
He's on the center, but he's writing on the chat. Hit that like.
What money? Oh, I stepped away I'm out having a smoke.
Real men smoke in the house.
What money?
That is the truest statement you've ever said, Flo.
Real men smoke in the house. Salute.
I do construction, and houses that have been smoked in for a long time get a lot of tar on the walls, and it's a mess. So responsible people smoke in the garage rooms.
Oh yeah, but non-filthy people clean their house.
So cool if you want to.
What if flex being responsible, Brett? You're an adult. Responsible people.
Our money back from
Brett.
the below market value. You guys have been getting oil from us at like massive percent.
I mean, why don't we just take your oil?
Why
You
don't you-
have a military?
Why
we
don't
are
you
your shield.
charge us more for oil if it's below market price? The market price is the fucking market price. If you sell it to
I
us for $10, that is the market price.
Or you could just be a
I agree. I
Then what are you
100%
saying below
agree.
market price for? Like that's a separate thing from the price that's being sold at.
We definitely should not be giving the U.S. all the deals that we are on our resources, not on our oil, not on our potash,
yes,
not on
we
our
should, because you're
not on our electricity, not on anything.
You're not even a real country. If you didn't do that, you would become a national security threat.
Why?
She would be a part of our country.
We get an Orthodox guy. You want to dunk on him because they're
No, it ain't even
Okay.
that. Like legitimately
Look.
speaking, if they were not in our economic
Okay,
commodity.
fine.
Well, if they weren't in our economic commodity,
Okay.
they'd be a national
My
security
dad could
threat.
kick your dad's ass. I agree. We have the same dad. Our dad could kick their dad's ass. But
That has nothing to do with it, but okay.
it's exactly what has to do with it. That's exactly what's happening.
They're not a real country.
I know our dad is tougher, guy.
I mean, okay.
Fuck, I don't
We're,
even
we're
remember what I was
only
gonna
in
say
NATO
now.
and the G7, right? We only
Man,
how
Brett,
is a
don't even try to-
G7
don't even try
nation
to
not a
compete
real
on this
country?
shit.
Come on.
I cannot believe how stupid this conversation is. Everybody from America should be ashamed that you don't already know that you're better, and you don't even need to argue this. Brett, you should be ashamed that you even think that you got a point. It's like we're in G7.
See,
Nobody gives
the
a fuck.
arrogance
Nobody
combined
gives
with
a
the
fuck.
superiority complex and ignorance is exactly why the world hates Americans.
No,
Because
that's
all
why
just
you hate
ignorant and arrogant.
Americans. I'm pretty
Or
sure
not
that you're
all,
the
and
most
Americans,
smug,
so that's
arrogant
what matters.
person on this panel.
Your culture, Canadian culture is pretending to hate America and trying to not be American. They already see you as American. You're literally us,
Dude,
but
we don't pretend. You're not from here. Trust me. We don't
No,
like
but
y'all.
but a lot of my close friends are from Canada, Quebec, and Newfoundland, and their whole culture is us. But like, you don't get to have fancy guns. Like, you still have them, but you don't get the cool ones.
They hate us because they ain't us, you heard?
And they don't get flow state. I'm not even allowed to go there. Stupid ass.
Don't tell
country.
JTF.
Oh, they don't like it because they don't got their own flow state. That's what it is.
Right, that's what it is.
Well, they have a slow state or ebb state or whatever.
But I have been to Alberta multiple times, by the way. Beautiful place. Pain in the
But
rear.
isn't Canada considered North America too?
Yeah, that's North America.
Which is part of America, which is our shit.
Yeah, it's ours. I mean, let's be
No,
honest.
it's not. And that arrogance right
Yes.
there is the fucking
You
problem.
don't like that shit.
Listen, the UK built an imaginary wall on there, brother. That's true. Look it up.
That attitude and arrogance, like the whole Gulf of America, taking over Greenland, all this, like the Panama Canal, all annexing Canada, all that imperialist, arrogant, ignorant crap just makes you hate it
Post-World
more.
War II philosophy
Just
was a
makes
mistake.
you,
You're lying.
just
You know
makes
it's
you
true.
hate it more on the world stage.
Brett, let me ask
Post-World
you
War
something.
II philosophy was a
Brett
mistake.
takes himself way too seriously, though.
Hold on,
Yeah,
one at a
you-
time, you guys. One at a time.
You're killing the conversation with imperialism and all that because we know that that's not what we're doing here. Okay, so let's be honest here.
That's what I'm doing.
You
I
want to
mean-
be honest, and you're not trying to be honest. In
Being
all
honest,
reality- hold on,
I'm
Brett.
being honest when I say that exactly is what
Imperialism
Trump
is the natural order, and we
Right.
will return
Donald
to the
Trump
natural order.
is trying to leave a legacy
that
of
part.
empire building. That
No,
is
it's not.
exactly
Brett,
what's happening.
Brett, you have a
All
Hold up,
great
one second,
nations
guys.
do.
Hold up 1 second, you guys, because a person, this is the first time he's been here since he got his new gift. I'm sorry, you guys are used to this, but I'm not. As you can see, Sasquatch, your name is different because you got a gifted membership yesterday as well. That's a whole fact. And I'm sorry for chiming in like that, you guys. Now let's get back to this content. Just One at a time so everybody
Right.
can hear it, because you guys are
Okay.
providing great
Okay,
content.
Brett is a liberal. Real quick, he talks just like a liberal. He say he's not, but I say he's a liberal.
I would have to agree with you on that, Biggie. Now, Brett, here's the question that I have. Why do you have a problem with all different groups of Americans, right? Because everybody want to say that America's divided, right? So you got all different people, different walks of life coming together saying America first. Why is that a problem?
And after that, I got a $2 super chat from the Freak. I'm sorry I didn't see it till now. He wants to know, does Brett know old Joe?
That's his bro. That's his nephew.
And I second the vote for Brett's a liberal.
Yeah.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I mean, he's Canadian. That's why when we do annex Canada, it shouldn't be a state. It should be a territory until we can reset.
Somebody note that.
You know what's crazy, GFS? You know this, but I want to really say over the last, really since this election stuff got, kicked off, I really feel like America has been trying to work on race relations. It's something that Canada probably wouldn't understand, but it seems like, America as a whole is coming together with the understanding. Again, we felt that Trump was better for the country. And we're not saying we perfect, but I'm saying it seems like we're taking steps as Americans without race cards. I mean, come on, that Al Sharpton, we shall overcome bullcrap is over and done with. We're done with that.
We're proud people as Americans, Big E.
Correct. That's what I'm saying. So it's like,
guess what? We're proud people as Canadians too. Why is it okay for you guys to
No,
be
you gotta
patriotic?
answer GFS. No. You gotta answer GFS question first. What he said, why do you have a problem with all these different walks of life, black, brown, whatever spectrum, you Americans telling you we want to put us first? Why does that chap your backside so much?
You're not gonna get a real answer, and I'll tell you.
I'm gonna answer if you'd shut up.
All right.
So what you're saying is that Americans are being patriotic, putting Americans first. Guess what? Same thing with Canadians. We're extremely patriotic. We're putting ourselves ahead of you guys. Okay?
But you're not answering the question. You're not answering what he asked you, though.
Okay.
But he is.
I'm going to reiterate something.
I think
I'm going to reiterate something that I said when I came up here. My girlfriend is American.
What's his name?
Hey, I want to say Canada can't even be a real democracy. Canada can't even be
I see
a
where you
real...
got that name. I see what you mean.
I've heard this one before.
Hold up 1 second, you guys. I'm sorry, pardon me. So a lot of you guys don't know is that G been here on my channel for a while, and with this content right here has never really been performed on my panel before, and he knows that. That's why he's like, I see what you're doing. I know why your name is Dusty, because this contest is a little different. I'm with it because the way you guys are conducting it. But that's all. You guys is lit, man.
Well, because let me tell you something. Anybody who has a problem with Americans, let's put race, religion aside, with America saying that America before anybody, man, you got to question that person.
No, you don't. It's very simple. They're scared. They know their gravy train is ending for them. They know that if we put Americans first, all the good sweetheart deals that we give our allies, all the foreign aid, all that stuff goes away.
I don't think we're looking at this properly. We're not becoming more prosperous through tariffs. We're becoming more impoverished through tariffs.
Yeah, we are.
100%. I hate
Do
it.
you understand that, Orthodox guy?
And in the short term, yes, but it's
overall entirely. No, it'll be.
You know what's crazy to me? Nobody seems to get that the current administration is literally trying to clean up a very big mess.
That's what every administration says.
I mean, let's really keep it 100. The last 4 years was really bad.
Hold on one second. I don't buy into the whole tariffs hurt you, especially when we basically deindustrialized. Because we're having. Wait. We're having to compete with the third world and slave labor in China.
And so the way that we're addressing that is by increasing the cost to the consumer here of those
so that
products.
they buy American. So they buy American. It's increasing
Which
the
costs
price
more.
of foreign,
Which costs more.
which
and
is
so that lowers our
direct
standard of
profit motive and incentive to build Americans, and it will lower prices in the long term.
No, it won't.
Only if tariffs would stay. You know, the next.
The reason that we ship. No, let me do this. Let me do this.
One at a time,
I
you
actually
guys.
have
One
a
at a
fucking
time.
economics degree. I can explain why you're stupid, or you can just keep making noise.
I was quiet and let you speak. Why are you flashing out? I mean, all you have to do is talk.
It increases the cost of the consumer, full stop, permanently, as long as they last in existence. The reason we ship manufacturing overseas is because we could get lower, cheaper shit. And we don't want those jobs. They're lower paying jobs. If we start making everything American, I'm sorry, guys, that is a reduction in the standard of living. Is anybody on the panel looking for a manufacturing job? Are any of you trying to find a job at Coleman making coolers?
No.
So basically what you're saying is America should not pay Americans a living wage, outsource that to third world countries for pretty much slave wages, and that'll make America prosper? Is that what I'm kind of hearing?
That's what has been making us prosper.
That's what credentialism gets you.
No, hold on.
A degree in Keynesian economics. There you go.
That's not Keynesian at all.
Listen.
Hey, Orthodox guy, you got the economics. Is that
No,
what he's saying?
I got the economics degree.
Hold on.
No, that's
Well, if you're a libertarian, yeah, you
know
know what Flow State wants to do. Outsource our
you
stuff
guys, hold up. My
so
bro G
slaves
wanna
can make
get
our
in there.
products.
This isn't a political call. It's literally how it works mechanically. We impose taxes on imports, so our consumers have to pay more for imports.
Okay, so if you were
not if they don't buy foreign goods though.
Okay,
Hold on,
so
hold up, you guys.
no.
Can I
So
hold
if you
up?
were just pointing out how
Hold
it
up,
works now,
everybody.
what are we arguing over, Flow State?
Hold on.
Here,
What you
can I
talking
point
about,
out
G?
something real quick? I
Hold
can
on.
use a great
Everybody,
example to
hold on
do.
1 second. Hold
Okay.
on, because my guy's mic isn't that loud. You know what I'm saying?
My mic
I'm
ain't
gonna
loud?
let you don't hear it. They don't hear shit you saying, bro. They don't
No,
hear
they're
that
just
at all.
over talking each other, but I'm pretty sure my mic is loud because it's blasted over here. But no,
I don't
listen,
think
I can hear him.
listen. Tariffs.
Nobody can hear me.
Tariffs. No, they can hear you. Trust me, I can hear you. They just don't want to hear you. That's what it is. Tariffs are not a good thing, not for the short term or the long term. Okay, why? Because we already are inflated already like crazy. So, yeah, you're buying American goods, okay, which is a good thing, but understand that the American goods is already inflated. So you're really not saving no money.
Well, American produced goods cost more because Americans are used to a higher standard of living than people in foreign countries. So yes, that is why we buy foreign goods. They are cheaper because those people have a lower standard of living.
Standard of living.
If we bring home the manufacturing jobs and just buy everything American, that means that we're going to balance down. We're going to drop our standard of living, and that we don't get as much goods for the amount of work we put into earning money.
You don't.
So that was a big criticism
That's
of the original.
Keynesian economics. So that's the
No,
thought.
that's fucking not.
That's forever growth, and it's not sustainable.
No,
it's not possible.
That's not it at all, dude. Not even close. That's
was
so
a big-
far from Keynesian economics. It's fucking
hold on.
crazy. You know the
Slow
phrase,
down back for a
but
sec.
you don't have a clue what it is.
Basics of Keynesian economics. Growth.
No, it's not at all. No.
Hey, so let me ask y'all something.
You're
I
so
don't know
dumb.
how old a lot of y'all are, but like back in the 80s and 90s, it was a lot more American cars than it was foreign cars, etc. on the road. I mean, it was, to me, the money went a lot further back then. I thought we were doing just fine. Today, everybody's spending big money on foreign cars. That don't hurt us as Americans?
No, that's not what-
Also, we have to point out, right, when you ship these jobs overseas, right, like we have been, you are going to get a worse product.
Not necessarily.
No, which we see with TVs. Absolutely, we see
Really?
that with TVs.
What do you think's
100%.
better, a Ford or a Toyota?
Toyota
for sure.
Okay. What are we talking about? Toyota trucks?
All Toyotas.
But what about a Chevy?
All Toyotas?
Hold on.
What about a Dodge, bro? I mean,
There's two things here, okay? Number one, that was part of the criticism with the original NAFTA trade, the North American Free Trade Agreement between US, Canada, and Mexico, is that what happened was we Canada, as well as the US, lost auto manufacturing jobs to Mexico. Why? Because the corporations realized that it costs more. I can't believe I'm agreeing with Flo again. It costs more to manufacture that product in the US or Canada than it does in Mexico. So the corporations are let's source out these manufacturing jobs where we can pay the slave wage labor.
The consumer
right?
chose that.
Fine. Another thing that's super important to be pointing out is, and I can use an example, and please don't dogpile on me and just let me land the point.
We're gonna fuck you up.
Yeah, probably.
No, I gotta fight with my Uncle Flo a little bit.
Hold on. Just let me land this point. Let me land this point.
The private chat and everything, yo.
Okay, just let me land this point. So don't dogpile on me right away. So like Kentucky bourbon makers, right? Okay. They are having a problem with the tariffs, and because Canada has responded by pulling their product off of our shelves. Now, they don't like it because the tariffs are one thing, but not getting those export sales hurts even more. So if you're not getting the export sales on your products because US products are being boycotted, don't forget, they want to see positive dollar signs in every quarterly earnings, right? So if you aren't getting those export sales, who makes up those losses but the citizens? Because they're going to charge you more for that product so that they can see the positive dollar signs in their quarterlies. Like, I can't believe I'm agreeing with Flow State so much on this panel.
Hold on one second, you guys. Hold on. Everybody, hold up one Man, shout out to the freak with the $5 cash app, man. He sent out a $5 cash app saying for the panel 5/5. He sent me a $5 cash app because of the great content you guys are providing, man. You know, we definitely got to show love to everybody who's showing love to the channel. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe wherever you at. Then hit the super chats. We got the cash apps in there. If you agree, you don't agree, definitely get in that chat section, whatever channel you in. Who was responding just now? There's a whole bunch of people.
Hey, my fifth, before you go, I gotta scram, yo. It's time to hit the gym. Nice meeting you, gentlemen. Nice talking to you guys.
You too.
And man, y'all stay winning, man. I'm gonna catch up with y'all.
Yo, stay up, Biggie. Nothing but love, yo. Always.
I got a question with the economics. What's the current trend about reducing the employment and increasing robotics to take those jobs? And it doesn't matter what country you're in.
What about it?
So this outsourcing because they're cheaper labor, well, that doesn't make sense if you could do the same with robotics here.
Obviously robotics right now isn't as cheap as foreign labor.
Well, they keep going towards that direction is what
You're
I'm saying.
right. That is the direction it's going towards.
So if we keep doing the same thing while they're going that direction, where's the solution?
Well, I don't know. It's hard to say what the future will hold.
No one can predict the future. Here's another thing about outsourcing your jobs. You also lead to the development of potential foreign adversaries, like with China. You know, we built their economy. We built them up.
Oh,
we
my
built
God.
that beast.
No, we didn't.
The whole world did. It wasn't just America.
Look,
but America's the one who opened it up and started it.
Trade is a cooperative agreement that is beneficial to both parties. Orthodox guy, your Keynesian economics definition back here, that does not describe what I'm saying. Free market and Keynesian are opposite, and I'm saying that international trade.
I agree. That's a fact. I agree with you.
Okay, so you admit that you acknowledge that you were just dead ass wrong, not even close to right.
No.
Okay. You recognize that tariffs are a government intervention.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, let me stop here. This isn't going to be the win you think it is, because I think we were arguing two totally different points.
Well, then
that's the case.
Okay. I mean, if that's how you want to back out of it, then go ahead.
Flo, you're like I said, you remind me of my uncle. I don't mind fighting with you. I'm just gonna fight with you and with logic. And
yeah, but Orthodox, you just threw like NAFTA out the window. You just made it seem like just America. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man.
Well, here's the thing. Like, China. Are you talking about my point on China, right?
Yes, sir.
So basically, in order, when China opened up for trade, it was an American endeavor. I believe it was Nixon who opened them up for trade. Like they basically forced them and put in the framework to open them up for trade, and it was through American investment and a large, like, because you got to remember, we as a superpower, we control the
This is a
oceans
huge
and trade.
country. This is a huge country. I mean, like, America does a lot, but don't give us credit for like
But that's what we do. Like, I forget what it's called. It's the transactional authority that works with international banks to facilitate the trading of currency. We own that. We basically tell them, hey,
settlements.
No, I forget what it is. It's
IMF.
It's something we kicked Russia out of.
IMF.
None of those are owned by America either. They're all private.
they're not owned by us.
No, it's not the IMF. It's something. Let me Google it real quick. See if I can remember exactly what it is.
You guys is on fire, yo. You guys got the chat going up.
I feel bad, and I'm sorry, yo. I have autistically researched and forgotten more things than I cared.
You forgot some real basic economics.
I don't care. I don't care about it. Whoa. I have not been wrong yet, sir.
Are you fucking kidding me? You haven't been right yet. You've done nothing but be wrong.
Yeah, you was wrong on tariffs, buddy. I hate to tell you.
No. The opinion on tariffs is subjective, even amongst
tariffs. Look, we're talking about free market trade versus tariffs. Free market trade has it has nothing to do with Keynesian economics, which is about government intervention, which tariffs are to spur on economic development, right? Which is one of the goals that Trump wants to do with tariffs, is spur the economy at home. But if more people going to work is beneficial, even if it's less efficient, which home manufacturing would be, then we might as well get rid of heavy equipment and have people digging everything with shovels.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, which goes back to the robotic future.
Yeah. And by the way, what you're looking up for, they own that. Switzerland really owns that. Really is Davos, the World Economic Forum. They're the ones that own all that transfer of the currencies and all that. So you know.
You should look and see if there's like a little like how-to instructional video on how to acknowledge defeat and gracefully bow out.
Well, I'm going to accept that the tariffs are going to be that little issue you talked about, but I do like the point of making countries behave a certain way using tariffs. I mean, it's using.
No, it's needed.
Pay attention.
It's the wrong time.
It's going to hurt us more.
It's not the right time to do this. I'm telling you that right now. It's not.
So, Flow State, you advocate for a completely free market, correct?
Say that again.
You advocate for a completely free market, correct?
I have a what for it?
You advocate
I advocate for it. Yeah. Right? I thought you said that I was gay for it. I was like, well, I guess.
Oh my God! Pause.
But no. So
I mean, they do talk about his butthole a lot in his channel.
Zero regulations, nothing like
pause,
that. Yo. Nothing to stop, mega monopolies, nothing to stop these jobs going overseas.
No, I'm for prohibition on monopolies, which we have in place but don't enforce well at all.
Then that's not a free market though.
You're right. I'm okay with some minimal interactions in the free market. Not as many as you commies would have. You commies.
I'm not a communist.
You're a communist.
I'm not a communist.
A free market
is
a thing.
I've heard you talk. I know you're a communist.
I'm a socialist, but I'm not a communist.
Okay, they're the same thing functionally.
No, they're not.
No, they are not. No,
that's right, guys. You're speaking to a right-wing socialist. Here we go.
Yes.
No, they're not. They're absolutely not.
The best kind of socialism, because when you invest in your own people, you win.
You're a monarchist, Orthodox guy.
No, the fuck I'm not. You be quiet over there.
Can I ask a question? Can I intervene with a question just real quick, since you're talking about free market? Can we all agree on panel that it would be great if we all had lower gas prices?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can we all agree on panel that it would be beneficial for both the United States and Canada to be having less migrants from South America coming across our borders, making asylum claims, etc.?
No, from all countries, not just South America.
Yeah, literally immigration in general. Yeah.
I think immigration is a lot more.
Let's address
nuanced than
right
that.
now the southern border issue of the U.S. Okay, I want to speak to that just specifically.
Yeah,
But
we
they come
have-
from everywhere.
Beneficial.
yeah, they're coming from
to-
everywhere across that border.
They're not coming just from.
Oh,
South
okay.
America.
The point that I was trying to get at is that if you want cheaper gas and if you want less migrants, then what we need to do is lift the sanctions on Venezuela and allow them to get their oil to the market, which
True.
would, it's a
True.
supply demand thing.
That's
but that would enrich communists. So no.
Yeah, that would enrich communists. That's-
But you guys are fucking communists.
I'm not-
I keep telling you, bro, better dead than red, right? I would advocate for capitalism
here's the
before I
thing.
advocated
Here's
for
the
communism.
So hold on.
my bro-
You guys are saying you're socialists, but you would rather die than be communists.
Yeah,
you're
because
not-
we believe in private property, doofus.
You
I
guys
believe in private property. I believe in private property. I don't believe that everyone is
Communism
created
the
equal.
Evolution of,
Okay.
Communism is the evolution
Hold
of
on.
fucking private property.
Dusty, Bunkins, and Orthodox. I'm assuming that you guys know each other or have.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
Dusty's my uncle.
Yeah, you
That's
see
his
the way they're
uncle.
talking to each other, right?
I'm not his uncle. We disowned him.
Oh, you just don't know.
Yeah, so over here we don't talk to each other in that manner at all.
Yeah, that guy.
Which
I
manner?
knew you had to know each other from somewhere because I'm like,
Yeah.
man, what are these guys talking about?
Oh, like calling him
You guys
names?
is-
Yeah, all
Hey,
the
I'll be
Oh,
back.
all
This
the
is
man.
guys
National
end up
Live. I gotta go
chiming
somewhere
in,
real
right?
quick. You're a 5-5?
What's
I'll be
up?
back. I'll be back because I gotta go somewhere real quick.
Go ahead, bro.
All right.
Sorry.
It's nice talking with y'all, man. Peace and love.
All right, sorry for that.
Sorry.
I try not to call them names. It's really gonna hurt, though.
Yeah, keep going. I'm gonna start calling you white trash. It's okay.
Did you hear him? Did you hear him?
It's just getting
Host.
interesting, G.
Host.
Here, what's up?
That one called me something.
I escaped
Yeah,
the
he
trailer
said
park.
the fat
You're still
one,
there.
bro.
Ha 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 ha.
I got a 4-bedroom house.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Ask me how many cars I got.
A 4-bedroom double wide. Sorry.
Ask me how many cars I have.
He actually bought the trailer park, evicted everyone, and built his hab mansion on the
Okay.
trailer park ground.
I'll double that down. All
Here,
right.
hold on a second.
How many cars are working and not in the front yard?
I mean, that is a fair question to ask all white men. I'm gonna be honest.
I'd really like to express how much I dislike you all right now for making me agree with freaking Flow Hate so much.
If you think
I've
Flow
never
State is a
agreed with-
hater, you're not gonna like me.
How much
I've
Logan
never
do you
agreed
have?
with Flow so much.
Oh, he busted out the gold. Let me see it. Let me see. Let me
The
see.
gold.
This is just silver.
Oh,
Bust out
silver.
The silver.
Yeah, it's
I
just-
would bust out an item that I can own and you can't, but that's not good for the stream.
I would
have you
too.
there.
But that's not good for the stream.
Is that a kilogram?
That's 100 ounces.
100 ounces.
What's silver at? What's silver at now?
You know what's crazy is that you
34?
waited for him to
34 an
leave.
ounce.
Yo, he does all of that. He would have showed you the real screen of that right now in real time. That's what he literally be doing. You know what I mean? He does all that. He trades the metals, everything. He shows you the price. He can show you the national debt. He does all that in real time.
Yes, Mox.
I bought a bunch of metal in 2020. Yeah. I haven't bought anything in several years.
You're supposed to keep buying it.
I mean, like you can study at it and you can buy it and do it. Like it's not like the biggest own. They're just having a wee measuring contest right now.
Yeah,
Well,
just let us have a measuring contest.
He called me. He said that I live in the trailer park, but
He busted out the silver. He was like,
then he didn't want to play the game anymore.
Well, because the next step up from that is something I can't show on YouTube. Okay,
Let's just see what kind of microphone you got, buddy.
I got a Rode.
Sure.
It's a Rode. See,
Nah,
I win.
so
Who's
normally-
richer? Who's
check this
richer?
out.
Yeah, that's
Normally-
something to brag about.
Yo, so normally Bumpkin is nice and quiet. Today, hell no, he got close to his mic. He got loud. I was like, oh shit.
actually, fun fact: this is my normal state.
This is his normal state.
I'm just usually, respectful when I'm on panels, right? But
No, you're not.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Yes, I
Blame
am. Especially,
Canada.
I do blame Canada for
It is
everything.
Canada's fault for sure.
It is. It's what they must be annexed for their own, for the sake of.
Don't worry. You
world
guys
security.
won't be 50. Don't worry.
No,
it won't be 51. It won't be the 51st state, right? It will be like a conglomerate of 10 states. You know what I mean?
No, we
That's
blame
how
Canada
it
because
works.
you bent the knee to the royalty.
It will be broken. It will be broken apart, resettled, and then readmitted into the union. Doesn't matter.
I'm sorry, Brett. If that's actually bugging you, the jokes, you know.
You better get used to
He'll get over it when he's an American.
It's not just me, actually. That's what a lot of you guys don't understand. Like
Pretty much right, though.
every time an American cracks a joke about the 51st state anything, more of your products are boycotted. You're pissing more Canadians off. The terrorists.
Oh no!
No maple syrup. Oh my God! No, we don't grow maple syrup. Oh wait,
Dude, yeah. Do you realize you guys tariff us to the extreme? Like 200% tariffs on many goods. Arguing with y'all about the
Arguing with y'all about the
tariff
with NAFTA or the USMCA, like the free trade agreement. Like it's all you're doing is just regurgitating.
but you still tariff the shit out of us.
You're not actually knowing the documents.
Milk and agricultural products. Flo, are you gonna make me do research?
You're actually. You don't know really what you're talking about entirely. You're regurgitating talking points that are like half true, half false. But
I have
I get it. I get
actually.
it. You're a monarchist and you love Trump. He's, I can see why you're just being a yes man.
Yes,
Useful
Trump,
idiot. I get it.
Look, man, Barron will be the first king of the United States. Okay, just deal with it.
If that day happens, I'm coming.
Wasn't there a bunch of people that threw a bunch of tea in a harbor?
Because you're so irritating right now, I'm not going to let you enjoy it, not for one day.
See, the worst thing ever. The worst thing ever is what if I was knighted under Barron for saying that and calling it? How angry would you be?
It won't
this
happen.
guy
It won't
here
happen.
seems to like go against everything America was founded off of when they threw a bunch of tea in a harbor
he's
to
absolutely
rebel against
anti-American.
overtaxation.
My brother in Christ, you don't know me. Flo and I are joking.
Sort of.
I'm just saying.
I absolutely. Here's the thing. There's one amendment in the Constitution that I support above all others, and that is the Second Amendment. As long as that exists, I am content.
I have a question.
Which means
I have a question. Who realizes or recognizes that? Okay, like you have Saudi Arabia and oil, right? Like they're kind of intertwined, like they go hand in hand. Who recognizes that Canada is like that with gold? Saudi Arabia and oil is like Canada and gold.
Man, you got to stop trying to pull your dick out. We're not impressed with it.
Dude, you're a territory. You're not even a real country. You're a fancy territory. Of the royal
like,
family.
Pulling your dick out. Meanwhile, they're flashing their mics. What kind of mic you got?
Mine's obviously bigger than his.
The point is that we have
Who's
stuff
this bigger
like
bumpkin?
gold. We have stuff like gold, etc., more than most other places on the planet. So if Canada didn't have anything that the U.S. needed or wanted and was unimportant,
Brett,
then
you're not going to get us to care.
There would be no talk about any 51st anything, no talk about any annexation. None of that would even happen, right?
You know the fact that you're
Clearly,
such a
we have
whiny,
things
lacking sense of humor, motherfucker, is the reason. I'm sorry. Am I talking wrong to him? Maybe if you
y'all been swearing this whole time. Let it go now.
Maybe if you responded differently to that joke, it would happen less. Is what I'm saying.
Well, they are fourth in gold production, 204 tons in 2022.
Yeah, but
everybody. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Here's the thing. Like, in all seriousness, population-wise, in the way of an actual nation, Canada is just basically a territory. It exists to be absorbed into something bigger and better. It's just one of those countries historically.
Right there. That talk right
It's
there
a fact, dude. I'm
is
sorry.
a
It's a
threat
fact.
to our sovereignty.
You
We
don't
are
have
a
sovereignty. You don't have
G7
an army. What the damn that
Come on,
is?
come on. All
Brett.
right, my guy. All right, my guy. One at a time. We don't yell over each
Yeah.
other. One at a time. So Luke Caucasian Sasquatch just got in the building. What's good, newest member?
You call your money loonies and toonies. That is a cartoon territory. That is not an actual country.
He came in hot. He ain't even salute me back. Nothing. He just, yo, this is what you call
That's
your
how you
money.
do it, bro.
I mean, their politics is like Bugs Bunny.
This is the problem right here. Is this sort of conversation and this arrogance and ignorance and superiority?
Brother, you live in an effective dictatorship. You need some freedom.
We are a G7 NATO country, okay? We're not.
And I keep telling you this, Brett. Who is NATO?
I'm telling you right now, Canada is not like. Canada is not like Honduras or like maybe how that's a bad example, but
brother, you don't have an air force.
We're not
don't
just
have
like
an air
some little-
force. You don't have an air
Yes,
force.
we do. See this arrogance.
The
this
Canadian
ignorance and
geese?
arrogance.
What are you talking about?
The
Compared to
arrogance.
America, what are you talking about?
Hold on, wait. Because
has some of the
Canada
best fighter
downsized their
pilots
air
in
force.
the world. The top snipers in the world are Canadian. Our fighter pilots are some of the best in the world. We
You know
have
what's
an air
not
force.
gonna matter?
We have
You
it.
know,
Do you know after World War II, Canada had the third biggest navy on planet Earth? You don't know this crap. So
What about today?
the third
Just
biggest navy.
stop.
The third biggest
Just-
navy. Yeah.
Just stop.
What about now?
With the ignorance and the
What
arrogance.
about now?
Okay?
They have
The
390.
condescending attitude is what we don't like, and the lack of
Sure.
respect.
What is the Canadian
doesn't matter what
population
you don't
currently?
like.
They have 309 aircrafts in their Air Force.
309?
But they only have 63 fighter jets.
Sorry, 390. My bad, 390.
They can't even outfit a single of one of our aircraft carriers completely.
They have 63 fighter jets, 133 helicopters, 36 transport aircraft.
We are not prancing around the world building empires, setting up military bases all over the planet.
Dude, you couldn't defend yourself from a small state like Israel.
Let me read this. Let me read this. This is about the Canadian. I just looked up the Canadian military. All equipment must be suitable for mixed gender force. Combat helmets, rucksacks, combat boots, and flak jackets are all designed to ensure women have the same level of protection and comfort as their male colleagues. All military occupations were open to women at 89. This is like Greenpeace. This isn't a military. This is Greenpeace.
I'm failing to understand what you're getting at.
What I'm saying is America rocks. America rocks.
Because Canada doesn't feel like we need to take 60% of our tax dollars and dump it into our military. Therefore, we're
take
a piece
60% of the
shit
tax
nation.
dollars and dump it into DEI and say it ain't so.
Is that what you're trying to say? Because we don't need to dump 60% of our freaking dollars
because we
into our
defend you.
military?
We're your shield.
We don't
We're your
need
shield.
to do that.
We're
No,
your
you're
shield.
not.
Do you want to know why you're able to spend? Do you want to know why you're able
See,
to
that's
actually afford
that's
free
the
healthcare?
ignorance and arrogance I'm
No,
talking
no,
about right
it's
there.
reality. Do you want to know
It's
why
not reality.
you're able to actually pay for your private healthcare? Sorry, public healthcare. My bad. Do you want to know why?
Because
The
we
same
pay
with
more
every
taxes
other
into
country.
it. I explained that earlier.
Your taxes wouldn't actually be able to cover, right? If you had to actually pay for defense, your taxes would not cover your public health care. Just
So
like every other country in NATO
Okay,
that
so
has
still
public
not
health
getting it.
care.
You
The
are still
ignorance
not
and
getting
arrogance.
it.
Look,
You
Brett, this is
are
for
the
you.
ones that are building empire with like 900 military
The
bases around the
ignorance and
world.
arrogance is
We
in
aren't.
you thinking that we're trying to make you happy or like us.
Pardon me?
We are not trying to make Canadians like us. That is the arrogance in this conversation and the ignorance. You keep telling us that we're ignorant and arrogant because, and this is why nobody likes you. And I keep telling you, we're not trying to like you. And I shouldn't even have to tell you. It should be obvious. We're not trying to be
Hold on.
liked by you.
I like Newfies. Newfies are okay with me. They're good.
Most
See, and that
newfies seem to
again-
want to be annexed.
That
At least
again,
one's
that
out-
attitude is the problem. You don't
Right.
care.
It's not an attitude,
You
it's
don't
a
care.
for us.
You
No,
don't care.
Brett,
about
you're
anything
like
outside the
you're like a millimeter away from being a conquered people. We don't care.
Do you know what the term
Try
post-national
us.
state means?
Try us. We would love to see you send American
Wait,
troops across that border. Go for
You
it.
would lose. You would lose in 48
Oh,
hours.
hold on,
if
hold on,
that.
what they
Yeah, a
yelling?
third of your
Whoa,
people
what
would
they
join
yelling?
us.
Whoa, what
No,
yelling?
they wouldn't.
Whoa.
And I have seen a massive amount of U.S.
Wait.
military
Wait,
personnel
hold on,
say
Brett.
that they would
I have
come
a
fight
question.
for Canada.
Orthodox guy. Your
Yeah.
voice is so shrill and you're constantly shrieking. Chill the fuck out and stop interrupting people with that shriek. It's
Ain't
crazy.
nobody shrieking. All right.
You are shrieking all over the place.
Look, that's just because you have spent so much money on good headphones that it hurts your ears.
I spent
Such
that
high
much
quality.
on my head.
Okay, here's just the straight facts, okay? Canada currently has a standing military of 67,400 people. The United States has a current standing military of 1,326,050 people.
Spread across the globe. You forget that. And you also forget about our standing army.
But you know,
we have
What
a standing
standing army?
What
Our
standing
people.
army?
Our people.
And not only that,
There's-
but we just called a bunch of troops.
There
out
are
of Europe.
30. There are
There's a
30.7.
huge difference because as Flo is pointing out, you guys don't care about anything outside your borders, right? And
Dude,
you aren't out to
Our
you
national
aren't out
guard
to
can
make
handle you in a
friends.
weekend.
Nation.
I didn't say that.
You aren't
have
out
a
to make
total-
friends. Hold
Let me
on.
take
You're not
this.
out to you're not
I
out to
got
make
you.
friends. You're
You
not out to make
just
people
said-
happy.
What's
Like
your name?
none of that, right?
One
You
at
all
a time,
don't
you
care.
guys. One at a time, yo. One at a time.
You just said that you were upset with us because we are
You're not
empowered
gonna let me talk,
in
okay.
146 nations. Personally, I think that's a bonus, a feature. I don't think that's a problem. The fact that we have bases in most nations on the earth is a good start to an empire.
It's an empire building thing, which is archaic. Like I can't.
Well,
stress
when you're
that
part of
enough.
It's not
Morad, well,
archaic. You
To the
just have
point.
you just been gaslit into thinking that it's archaic. The power games
It is
never
archaic.
ever stopped. It's not archaic.
Dude, it is.
It's not.
You know what? I would be all for globalization if we were getting towards a Star Trek Roddenberry society. That's not what we're getting.
Why do you
We are
think that
getting-
humanity is too civilized for these sort of
we
power games?
are getting an Orwellian 1984 instead.
We're-
Okay?
We do
You,
not live in a little
US,
utopia.
It's actually
US.
Brave New World, but that's beside the point.
The U.S. is the tip of the spear of the New World Order.
I agree.
Nations that do not comply get U.S. invasion. Right?
I agree.
It's not
And-
okay. So
No.
yes, I see it as archaic, nation building, empire building, etc. We're not
Hold on one
moving
second.
towards a Roddenberry Star Trek
Hold up.
as long
Hold
as
up one
this
second. Hold up one
empire
second.
crap keeps happening.
Hold up 1 second. Hey, OTW, I see you backstage, but can I at least see you? Can you just at least show me?
Hold on, I want to say the federal
Okay.
in Star Trek, the Federation is an empire.
There's nothing archaic is the wrong word
Thank
to
you,
describe
Paul.
what's going on. You just
So,
because
it's
you were
not-
raised to think that we lived in an age where we've moved past anybody caring about power and we're all egalitarian and shit. That's not reality. You were just lied to. You need to update your perspective and not try to.
No. What I view it as is wars are still being fought for the same reasons as they were 200 plus years ago.
More than
Control
that.
of land.
More than
Control
that.
of land.
And they'll be
control of
fought for
goods,
that for 1,000
control of-
more years until humans
This
don't exist.
fucking Orthodox guy behind me does not know how to shut up and be respectful at all, ever.
No.
Yeah.
True.
At least he admits it.
It's part of my charm. It's why most people like me.
So give me one moment. Yo, salute to OTW and Caucasian for the two members that are on the channel, that are on the panel for the first. What's good, my guys? How do you guys feel about this debate that's going on right now and how the brother Brett just feels so disrespected?
I do have one observation.
Is Brett Canadian?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
It's
I feel so disrespected. I'm with Brett.
I know.
I'm Canadian.
What's with that little avatar, OTW? What are you doing here? Halt.
This is Jesus cyborg.
It's quite
and my
silly.
face on Jesus's head on
So
a
Jesus
cyborg
wears
body.
armor?
It's a cyborg body. He's
I don't like
eternal
it.
now. Good.
So
You're American.
being
As long as you
back-
don't like what us Canadians do, us Canadians, we're all happy.
Okay,
Oh,
all right.
you want us to hate you guys?
There is one thing that concerns me about doing any kind of violence with Canada. It's not a war crime till a Canadian does it, and so that is a concern.
Especially when we sent our people fighting your wars, and we have Canadians die
OTW
to support your country,
Canada
and,
already
and
lost.
now
the
you guys
contest.
looking down on us as if we were fucking low life. You know?
We've
No,
always
never
looked down
stopped
on you.
looking down on you. We've been looking down on you ever since y'all moved in up there. You see, we thought that was a part of our country until we found out that somebody lived there. We was like, damn.
I didn't realize it wasn't part of our country until like 2 years ago. That's crazy.
Right, squatters.
Where were you? You were living under a rock that time, probably.
He was talking about Canadian sovereignty, and it's like, don't you guys still like answer to the Queen or to the King?
No, we haven't answered to the Queen in a very long time.
But if you look up the Canadian military and look at the logo, there's a big crown on top of it. Yes,
It's
you
the
guys
weirdest
do.
thing.
Yeah.
And your previous prime minister
Hey,
says
don't
that you're
talk
a
to us.
nation
No.
state.
Hey, don't talk to us about our previous prime minister. We hate him too.
Oh yeah, no, I get it, but then you guys
Hold on
have an
a second.
unelected
Orthodox
dictator.
guy. Hold on. Shut up for basically
Yeah,
ever.
nobody turn up your mic,
no.
Orthodox.
If anybody's
I
on,
agree with
everybody on my
Republican.
channel, I'm dropping the link to where I'm restreaming from. Give him a sub. There you go.
Oh,
And,
thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Somebody's asking what channel I was on. I was like, oh shit, I'm slacking over here.
No, I appreciate that because see, for me, I'm not one of them. I know you don't have to do that. None of you, everybody who's restreaming, I know none of you guys have to do that. So I want to say thank you to all of y'all.
Yep.
And whoever's saying, all right, I know you type mad, but I don't care. I like to show appreciation. Now we can get back to getting on each other. Pause.
Unpause. Unpause.
I'm getting on it.
Bro,
It's
let's
gonna
get
get-
freaky. Match my freak.
I like
It's not
how he
gay
operates.
If you do it to prove a point.
Not gay
See,
if you
the
assert
pri- but
dominance.
the prize is on you, bro. I'm into that shit.
Oh man, yo, you guys are
What
And
did he
he's
say?
and how long you been monetized for? 2 weeks now.
about almost 3, maybe 2.5. That's why I don't want you guys to say no crazy shit. Like we just started. I'm not trying to get crash out.
So if you're feeling generous, send the super chats to me.
He said, Fifth just started. He can wait. Send him to him.
I accept cash apps.
So with the whole
I have
royal,
PayPal if anybody's interested.
the whole royal family in Canada, it says the king's representative in Canada, the governor general, attends several ceremonial functions and represents Canada in state visits and other international events. So they kind of rule your outside influence. They don't rule the
Which is
inside.
why you have no concern for worldwide politics when it comes down to reality.
Yes.
It's just a token position because
So basically, they're
He's
not
the
sovereign.
sergeant at arms, but he will bop you in the head with that damn mace if you get too uppity.
Yeah, that's why your prime minister is always chosen by their banks.
Pretty much.
it's a token position. See,
all
the
of our-
Americans all like got in a great big fight and were like rebelled and whatever. And I'm not saying that was wrong.
Will you
But
stop
we
trying to
didn't
compete
do
with
that,
America?
and we
Not
were
every-
just nice, and we were like, "Hey, England, like, can we have some like sovereignty?" And they're like, "Yeah, cool, you guys are awesome." Yeah,
Right, you need to get your
own
inferiority complex
And we're
in
just
check. This is the
respectful
reason
to-
you keep getting picked on because
All right, I'll
We're
give
just
you one.
respectful. That's all.
I'm going to give you this, Brett. Y'all did help us remodel the White House once. Yeah, demo job was amazing. It was great. Didn't cost us a thing. We had it rebuilt in like 18 months. It was a good thing.
Are they still mad about the French Indian thing?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, we're guaranteed.
Brett is getting fired upon right now, man.
Damn it.
Yeah, my chat is not very happy with the Leaf right now. I'm not gonna lie. My chat is
with what?
With the league, what happened with the league?
With the Canadian?
with the
Day of the
Canadian,
rake.
The Maple Leafs?
They're calling for the day of the
Cool.
rake.
They're calling.
Hey, they're
Put that in their
They're the
Facebook.
world's best hockey players, though. Okay?
You know what's wild to me though?
Not the Bex Boxers though. We saw that with that,
I was
huh?
gonna say, what
Not the Bex Boxers,
idiot
though.
put a hockey match between the Canadian American boxing match. That
Hey.
was wild.
We won UFC championships, so don't go fuck yourselves.
Yeah, they have George.
They have championships for that shit.
We've won UFC championships, man.
We punched you in the face.
They got that. They got George St. Pierre. That's about it.
Your mama.
I don't. Here's the thing. You guys were there to play hockey. We were there to put you in your place physically with violence. We won.
And you failed.
What you talking about? Montreal Canadiens are beasts, man. They're monsters. They're fearless.
We won the majority of the fight.
We also won that game.
Yeah, but then we lost in the other round.
Yeah.
But we.
Imagine
beat 'em
Americans think they're better at hockey fights than Canadians. That's what we're raised with.
Brett, can you please get your inferiority complex in check? This is the reason you catch so much shit, because you just cannot get over yourself.
You're
It's
the one
okay to be
measuring
from a
rights.
suckier country.
Shut up,
You're
Flow
the one
State. Now
saying,
you're
"Oh,
projecting."
It's not a real country and cause crap. It's you with a superiority.
Like
complex.
every 30 seconds, he
Come on.
barges in with some new, like, yeah, but did you know
Oh, you're
Canada invented stick-it notes, post-it notes? Like,
Did they?
You should look up a list of Canadian inventions, by the way.
I just want to let you. What can I tell you to make you shut up about it? You're
Nothing.
right. Canada is so great. All
You
I
can go
want.
back to pick on an Orthodox guy. That'd be good.
Oh, I can't even do it.
Me and Flo do that. One of us will say something that pisses off the other. You'll get your wish on that eventually.
Well, he's an astronaut on a purple moon, so who knows what the hell's going on in his head.
It's in lots of shrooms.
The symbolism. It represents communism and space.
Yeah,
Elon Musk space communism.
Well, communism only works in space. So.
Actually, it's gay luxury communism. Thank you.
Do you know
all,
why
all communism is gay luxury?
Do you know why communism only works in space? Because if somebody doesn't do their job, they're all screwed.
Well, energy is what it comes down to, really.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I ain't trying to talk shit.
In space, energy is a given. You're gonna have free energy because energy has to be there for you to survive. So it's the first step. Without free energy, there is no communism.
What you're saying is, if we just harness nuclear fission, we'll stop starving to death.
Well, that would be a good first step. Yeah, that's not a
starving to death in
terrible
America.
I said if we implement communism.
You know what I'm thinking is we should make America the 11th province.
You can try.
I mean, right?
Please try. We'll take Canada from you so quick.
I'll make you a deal. You try to make us the province, and we'll only let Texas fight back. Just Texas.
No.
And Alaska.
No. We got to pick a weaker state. We'll let West Virginia fight back.
No,
I'm in Kansas. Kansas seems like it could handle it.
I'm pretty sure
Canada than being a state.
I'm pretty sure the province of Quebec could handle the whole country.
Brett, what happened to you that you don't have a sense of humor at all anymore? What kind of trauma just deleted the sense of humor out of your soul?
It's the flag behind him.
Not even the National Guard.
Have
right?
a great sense of humor. You just got to be funny.
I've never seen it. I've met you at least 3 times. You don't have a sense of humor. You're very self-important.
I've been laughing at your jokes, and I've been laughing along with all you guys, having cracking jokes, whatever. So
I'm a sociopath, and I learned a lot to laugh at the right
time. Go back
time.
to picking on the guy that doesn't know nothing about economics.
You know what? I can pick on both of you. I have that.
Right, that's a different economics of humor.
Yeah. The divided laughing labor theory.
I'll just sit here and eat my gizzard.
You know, they might be bad at math, they might be bad at economics, but you're just bad with math, right? We have our standing army is bigger than your entire population.
This is so boring. This conversation.
Hold on a second. I mean, you know what? You might be right, but 1 Canadian is worth 10 American when it comes to the army.
What are you talking about? You guys are passive aggressive and
No. We're one of the most badass motherfuckers that you can get out there.
You are one of the least badass motherfuckers I've ever
You don't even know what the
anywhere.
Hey, have you ever been in the army, Flow State? You don't even look like a guy who's ever been in the army.
Mm-mm.
There you
I've
go.
been shot at
Flo
and then
looks
shot
like
back.
a guy who could fight.
He was a
though.
barracks buddy.
Flo looks like he's a guy who could fight. Let's be real about that. Most of the military is nothing but pencil pushers and logistics. Flo looks like a guy who could
Very
fight.
important logistics, sir.
No, it is. I'm not talking shit. It is. But like, come on.
We could do a street beef.
All right. Tell you what, New
Yeah, that's
Jersey.
it. I like that. I'm in.
We'll let New Jersey fight y'all.
Put some money on that.
Oh, y'all are cooked.
What, are you in it?
They're going to take a rip off that freaking ice light bulb.
Yo, New Jersey. Oh, they're Italians. They're mad. It's cold outside. Oh, you guys are cooked.
Dude,
You're
and
cooked.
they literally just hate. They're born hating. They're God's strongest
Dude, yes,
haters.
especially Italian and not born in Italy, in New Jersey. Oh, dude, it's over. Like they hate the world from the moment.
They're basically mutants because they're like an industrial toxic wasteland.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should ask any Canadian what a Quebecer is like. We're not really
Look,
fun to deal with. I think you guys should reassess your. Yeah,
Are you in Quebec?
Yes, I am, and I know for
Oh,
a
yeah,
fact
no,
that
then we're fine.
Why
us
don't you
Quebecers,
have the accent?
we're the worst nightmare for the Canadians. So imagine if
You're
you
the
Americans
least
fuck around with
person
us.
on the internet. And that's
Don't worry, OTW. We're going to find a good match. Long Island has gun control. Surely I can take Long Island.
I have a Quebecois friend who immigrated here. His mother is from New York, right? He loves America. He thinks that he loves the idea of annexing. I think he can take OTW because he's a Quebecer.
Yeah, OTW.
Why don't you have the accent, by the way?
Yeah, so you're French and Canadian?
I live in Quebec. Je parle français. Je suis québécois. Yes, I am French Canadian.
That's like a double hit. Oh.
Yeah, imagine being French and Canadian.
Yeah, so that's why I don't fuck with the French.
Curse from God himself.
Nobody said no one ever.
Yeah, no one ever.
Fact about the French. The French have won more battles than any other standing nation in history.
Fucking right, man.
They've
Never
also
won a war.
and surrendered to more battles because they've had more battles.
I was going to say they suck at revolutions.
They're not great at it.
Hey,
At
that's
least-
France. Don't talk about Quebec that way.
I mean, Quebec is literally just little France, though. It's a worse France even.
Yeah,
Because it's
actually,
conquered by
it's
the
all of the
Anglos.
gypsies, the outcast gypsies, outlaws that were banned from France.
Look, we've got
essentially
Louisiana.
populated the
You're not
province
gonna-
of Quebec.
Yeah, no. Remember the filtration process I was talking about space exploration and how you brain drain the source of whatever colonies are made?
Yeah, they did that in France.
They did that in France and then again in Quebec, and we ended up with Creoles that can just like wrestle alligators and chew bears' ears off and stuff. Like these guys are serious.
Tell me about the Quebec Revolution you guys are so great at. Was it the quiet one where nobody did anything?
No, it was the really loud one back in the 90s when we wanted to separate from Canada and be our own country. And
Oh, you're
we
still part of Canada.
we were so close. Yeah, 49%.
Y'all
That's
stuck
pretty good.
That's
French
funny.
Canada is the best Canada.
So
in
wait,
the land.
so when
Said
the
no one ever.
you mean you guys didn't like strike out on your own or separate anyways when you lost the vote?
Don't you remember the flaming summer protest all over Eastern Canada? I mean, it was. Oh wait, no, that wasn't Canada. My bad.
These guys are domesticated house cats.
Oh no, I love the Canadian go-to. Oh, we burned your White House. No, the British.
Yeah, we
Army
needed to
did.
remodel anyway. It was getting to be kind of a dump. We agreed.
Yeah. We saved the painting of Washington. That's all that mattered.
Okay, I got 8 questions for this stream.
Pretty sure it was.
What a cope, right? Oh, we needed a remake. It's okay, you know.
I mean, here's the thing. It wasn't Canada because Canada's population and standing force was ass. They had stationed the military, a contingent of actual British soldiers from the
Tired of
rest
the
of the
Orthodox
UK.
guy.
So,
How
I
many
mean,
of you supported the U.S. Freedom Convoy? How is it the Canadians managed to take over our capital city and shut down our international borders, and you motherfuckers just drove around a beltway in circles and did absolutely nothing but grift
Like
money?
cowards. Didn't do fuck all
Y'all
for the
were
fucking
cowards.
lockdown. You
I
fucking
remember y'all-
losers.
All right, slow
wait,
down
wait.
with that time, Joe. Slow down with
No,
that
no.
time, Joe.
What happened? Since you addressed me, I'll ask you. What happened when your dear leader took your money away, shut down your banks, and stopped you from doing anything? you know, with the money and everything that they sent you people for doing that. You know, they took everything from you and you just sat down and did nothing.
Well, it's freezing
What's
up there.
cute
It's
is that
cold.
you don't think that can't happen to you. Because Canadians changed the conversation around the
But it
world.
didn't.
And y'all
It
already
didn't.
proved it here
It
when
didn't
you
and
started talking about the World Economic Forum. We
Right.
changed the conversation.
And the Americans followed suit and started
man.
doing the
Yeah.
trucking thing after Canada.
No, it was in solidarity because Trudeau was really trying to harm you guys, and that's just how ungrateful the rest of the world is. It goes to
You know,
show
tell the
you.
truth.
And wasn't that against the jabby
I
jab?
like Canadians.
Yes, it was.
It was against the lockdowns specifically, not the jabby jab.
Well,
and
they kind of go hand in hand.
I was doing
well-
my own thing as well. I mean,
And
on
again,
behalf
I'd like
of-
to remind that
Pretty
I
sure
was
I'm
at the
there.
border blockade.
Most Americans just didn't obey the lockdowns. That's
I was
the
a
thing.
proud boy.
I hate fishing. I went fishing.
I raced cops on 1941.
Yeah, we went to the springs and mountain climbing.
I need a knee high.
Where is it? Hold up, there's a super chat here. I can't see it though. I don't know where it went to. It's from Inc. $2. It says cheers to the host. I can see it on my phone, but I can't see it on my StreamYard. So it's
They
there.
hate you. Bro.
Yeah, like
They
I can
really
see it right
despise
here
you.
on my phone, but I can't see it on the StreamYard.
It's not in StreamYard on me either.
Yeah, but I can see Flow State. Somebody hit Flow State saying that he eating it, but mine I can't see. It's crazy, yo.
Yeah. Listen, guys, I got a stream I have to prepare for on the personal channel.
Never crossed the stream, sir.
Yeah.
That's why he's going.
That's why I gotta go. I can't be up here debating Canadians and hosting a show over there, sadly, or I would. I do advocate though, you know, any Canadians that want to jump up on that panel. By the way, over there, right? I run an open panel, Blood Sports Debates. I don't debate on there. I moderate. Okay.
Because you can't debate.
No, because I could bait very well, actually.
You can bait
But-
very well.
But
Masturbate.
yeah, I do that well too. Anyways,
You
but because someone has to moderate it, right? It's
mom does.
Bad, it's bad
That's why
policy.
I got a raging tomato.
Duncan, if you could, before you go, sorry, I ran to the washroom real quick, but I did hear you talking about the military force and might and power of the U.S. again. I had a thought while you were
Is
saying.
he trying to
that.
get out of here and you're just dragging him back in?
Well, you're making it
Yes.
longer. There is something to be said there, and that yes,
Grab
that
the
is the
bucket.
case. You guys dump a lot of effort and money into your military, but what you're not acknowledging is that the world doesn't see you like world police. The world
Why-
sees you as the bullies of the world.
Why are you still barking up
Throw
this
their
tree?
weight around and are
Hear me or
uncaring
hate
jerks
me.
that are
Will
very
respect.
superior to you.
Yes, I agree with Squatch on that.
Why did you
It's
stop him
bullying.
to deliver the same thought you've had all night?
Okay.
And if we're bullying, why does everybody want to move here?
But thank you for joining. and
Because
having the
you know,
conversations.
if you can't beat them, join them, kind of thing. You know.
We know that's your strategy. We've seen it be in action.
Okay. All right.
Can't
we're the
deny that.
bullies. We have the biggest stick.
And you should feel bad about that. I hope you sleep
You
bad.
bad boy.
Hey,
How dare
one
you?
comical tear.
One man's here in the shower once a year.
You know,
Yes.
World's smallest
Most of the
island.
world doesn't like
you know what's
bullies.
interesting to me is that we've got a socialist and a socialist monarchist, and they think they're very American.
You're talking about OTW.
No, you're
No,
talking about
he's-
me.
No, I'm not a socialist
I thought he was
monarchist.
talking
What are you talking
Bumpkin,
about?
An Orthodox guy.
We're talking about
So-
Orthodox and Bumpkin.
Yeah, sure. So I just look at the current climate and I see that, oh, wait, so we tried free market capitalism. That didn't work. We tried Keynesian economics. That didn't work.
Keynesian economics is the opposite.
That is what we are currently doing. I said we tried free market
We're doing
capitalism.
something similar to it.
And then we transitioned into something similar to Keynesian economics. These two things did not work. The reason why we transitioned into
false.
the reason why we
False.
transitioned into Keynesian economics is because these giant monopolies were
False.
being formed. Really? The giant monopolies weren't being formed in early America?
Not why we transitioned.
It was the Great Depression while we transitioned.
It's because we didn't keep our government. It's because we got it. It was the Great Depression. Actually, we got a central bank, and when that action happened, we sold the country
Yeah.
which was all part of the
Essentially.
British banking empire.
And why did we sell the country?
Because the monopolies formed.
Thank you.
Yes. It's
What
the
do you mean
man who
there's
built
monopolies?
America. Watch the show.
That's not why we sold the country. How did the
Because
monopoly?
politics got infested with money from business.
Bro,
Are you sure?
politics
Right.
has
So
never-
what
Shut up.
Americans should
Shut
do?
up.
You shut up.
Politics
Americans
has
should get rid of
never
bankers
been
completely.
Separate from money. Never.
The world
Okay.
needs to
You
get rid
don't
of
know.
it.
We got
Impossible.
10th in the building, so
It
10th
would
has
have
never
been
been on
better
the
back
panel.
in the.
Look,
Sorry.
there's been a lot of slander about me being a monarchist, but I'm actually more akin to the American founders who wrote the Constitution, in
Yeah.
all honesty.
I
Oh,
believe
really?
in
Do
the
you-
Republic.
What do you think about
It would have been a
monarchy?
lot better back in the times of around JFK as opposed to now where the lobbyists have a lot,
No.
like APAC.
No,
I've
this
APAC
is-
only-
is
I think
controlling way more
it
than
depends. It depends. Constitutional monarchy, or are you talking about absolutism? Because absolutism
at
is
all.
actually,
If you're a monarchist, that is the antithesis of America. That's the only thing less American than his communism.
Hey,
Like,
Flo,
I'm only a monarchist in the sense that Christ is king, buddy.
it's
That's
okay.
that.
After we gather up
That's
all the
that.
anarchists, we gather up all the monarchists for our conscript army. It's okay.
and the crisis king.
Uh,
All right, fall
Yeah,
back.
See,
No, my
you
thing is
just
I've
shot
never
yourself
become-
in the foot, Bumpkin, with your crisis king thing. Completely.
5/5. I just wanted to let you know.
I've
Why?
never even admitted. I've
Because
never admitted
it
nor
showed-
said I was a monarchist.
Because it showed what the foundation of your political views is, and that means it's not a thought out one; it's a faith based one.
Yeah.
That's not true at all.
So,
I have a ton of political views that are, some would say, is very anti-Christian.
This is
Like-
the Enlightenment was a net negative. for
Like
a lot of people.
socialism, which is quite akin to slavery.
Actually, no, I can justify socialism.
And actually,
Christianity. It's called
slavery is
distributism. It's called distributism.
Christianity is okay with slavery too. So I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
those are
I mean,
Leviticus.
free market's okay with slavery.
Yeah, free market's okay with
What
slavery,
are you
yeah.
talking about? Free market is the most.
No, actually, free
no,
market. Why is your voice like that, Orthodox guy?
Yeah, I don't know.
Specifically
man.
to annoy you.
Because he's
Like-
on the purple moon.
Yeah, I mean, free market makes absolute sense. Free market
got a
makes
dollar
absolute
store
sense for
microphone.
slavery. Absolutely. I don't have to pay people
Let me
to work.
let me teach
Woo!
you something. What are the two? There are two principles that make a free market economy. Do you know what they are?
Educate me, Flow State.
Private property ownership and voluntary trade.
Voluntary trade, yeah. You can have slaves and have voluntary trade.
No, you can't, because
you
they're
can.
not. That's labor is an input. That is
Historically speaking, there's a
Look,
population
at
that's
the-
enslaved and a
Okay.
population that's not.
You know what you're talking about. I don't know.
At the end of the day, much like communism, free marketeers will always say a free market's never been tried, just like real communism's never been tried.
No,
It-
free
there-
markets do get tried. They get, and that's actually the original. Before there was ever governments, there was free trade, right? It's a simple concept, without structure, but and it is implemented again whenever a nation needs expansion, like when we expanded west. All free market, and it's growth unlike anything else. When people can work for themselves and their families instead of for society at large, they work harder.
I thought that was the adaptation of the gold standard.
No. The gold standard
5/5,
gets more
I just
lip
wanted
service
to
than I
let
think
you
it
know
deserves.
I'm restreaming on my channel, so if you guys are seeing comments, there'll be people commenting from my channel.
Here's my
You've used StreamYard before.
here's my thing, right? And I agree that I do like your definition of free market capitalism.
It's not
or free
mine.
market trade.
It's not mine. It's the textbook definition. It's the definition.
In between individuals and the corporate representatives, i.e., your sales associates, that works. But as you grow as a society and you have these complex systems, it doesn't.
Why?
Because simple barter falls apart.
We're not talking about barter. You can have free market with currency.
But who controls the currency?
Yo mama.
Yo mama.
But answer the question: who controls?
No,
the
it does.
currency?
It doesn't matter who
English?
control. It doesn't matter who issues the currency, as long as
But it does.
as long as it's voluntary.
I wasn't telling a joke. I get my money from Yo mama.
I knew what he did.
It's an adjacent question. Can economies be screwed with through currency manipulation? Absolutely.
Yes.
It happens all the time. But that component, it would be more of a violation of free market. Although it's not. So the sterile answer is that the money source is not a component in free market until it becomes one by becoming a factor for the negative. When they start messing with the money, that's going to be an involuntary transaction that affects everybody, right?
Right, but isn't that essentially what happened in where the fuck where the Mr. Mustache guy there? Isn't that how the whole freaking country was demolished through the banking system? And isn't it what he was there for, to get rid of the bankers?
I don't know.
Isn't it the solution to get rid of the bankers?
So you're
I've been told
suggesting
by my YouTube lawyer I'm not allowed to talk about Mustache Man.
my YouTube lawyer has told me not to answer that question.
Isn't that right? Isn't that right, YouTube lawyer Squatch? I'm not allowed to talk about Mustache Man.
I kind of like.
I'm reminded of a quote. I'm reminded of a quote. It is well enough that the people of the nation do not understand our banking and monetary system. For if they did, I believe there would be a revolution before tomorrow. Henry Ford.
Yes.
There you go. See, so essentially, what he was doing, Mr. Mustache Man, was just liberating his country, and this is what we should be doing: is liberating ourselves from the banking system and the enslavement that they put us under.
We're not doing that. That's not happening. Where's that happening?
I know, but that's what should happen.
Yeah, but it's
not. It's not gonna happen because as you have a complex economy, you're going to have.
That's dangerous territory where that conversation's at.
Yeah. Anyways, I gotta go do the stream, guys.
Yeah, go cross stream.
We'll talk again.
Yep.
Much love. Don't let the man get you.
Well, I mean,
in the trailer,
we've brought up a lot of incoherencies, and we've brought up a lot of problems. We haven't talked about solutions, so I'm talking about solutions that have been brought up.
And
in
you
the
went
past.
straight to the mustache.
Yeah, because essentially it's about the banking system, and that's it. That's where it all started.
ODW. I mean, you don't half-ass much.
No, I don't.
Well, you have to go right to the end for the final solution. You can't just beat around the bush.
Well, see, here's the thing, right? It's not a final solution. It's just the easiest solution.
To get rid of the bankers that own the world?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not that easy. It's not that easy.
But it wasn't that easy to take on the British, but we did it.
Did we?
Well, you guys, Flo is right. It's not actually easy. It's just the easiest thing for people to say.
We did for about 150 years.
I mean, but did we? Isn't it interesting that a country that conquered the whole world then just all of a sudden decided to give back territories and we successfully revolted? Although everybody is still sort of tied to them